Snapshot.
The Mariners look to even their series against the Yankees today with Game 2 at 4:05 p.m. Bryce Miller gets the start for Seattle opposite Yankees righty Will Warren. A shocker in the NBA this morning, the Lakers are being sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record $12.5 billion just 1 year after the Buss family sold the team to Mark Walter for a record then $10 billion. A worthwhile note here, Walter is under federal investigation for alleged tax fraud by his other companies.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
We have a fun show planned for you. An amazing episode 2 of Hard Knocks. Bump, we're not opening the show with this per se, but were you getting fired up watching this episode?
The very first clip of Mike getting at D Hall, I did the quick stand-up. Get him, Mike! Get him, Mike! I knew he had it in him, but I didn't know he had it in him for real, for real. And then D Hall, and I'm watching this with my friend, and I'm like, you can't get that close to the quarterback. Like, D Hall, you are wrong. You cannot get that close to the freaking quarterback. What are you doing? But D Hall handled it the right way in the end.
Yeah.
Right? He took it on the chin, said, can't be doing that. Got to bounce back tomorrow. He said everything he was supposed to say, and then Mike loved him up afterwards. But that first clip, I was like, yeah, let's go.
I am so excited. Again, we will get to this. We're going to spend a good chunk of the show talking Seahawks, talking about that episode of Hard Knocks. I don't know what necessarily I was expecting when Pat McAfee said it was going to be like the best episode ever, best episode in years. I will say, maybe I have some bias. First 2 episodes, one of the better seasons of Hard Knocks so far.
Fire.
I think it's one thing to get insight into a team that's trying to build from the ground up and has failed, which usually had to be the qualifier for Hard Knocks, is like miss the playoffs in 2 consecutive seasons, don't have a new head coach. It's just as, if not more interesting, to see a team with a culture that's built and to go like, what's working for them? What's the secret sauce? Anyways, we'll get to that later. But fitting for a transition, because while the Mariners' biggest problem is offense when you talk about the product on the field. And by the way, controversial bullpen management yesterday by Dan Wilson, which we will dive into. It feels like the biggest problem with this team is also the most intangible and difficult to fix, and that's leadership and chemistry. Mm-hmm. And that's becoming very, very, very apparent.
Leadership is it's tough in baseball. It's different. It's different in baseball. In football, you have right now about 90 guys in the locker room. They're going to cut it down to, 60-something here pretty soon. And you have a leader within each group. D-line has one, O-line, quarterbacks, receivers, so on. There's always leaders in each pack. And then those leaders all come together to kind of control the pack and make sure everything is good, because you have so many bodies in there. In baseball, there's only about 26 guys in this whole deal. And just like other sports, your best players are supposed to be your leaders. Even if you're not a natural leader, if you're one of the best players on the team, you're expected to lead. And right now I look at this baseball team, and I don't feel like there's a clear-cut leader. And this is when leadership is hard, when you're getting smacked, when you've lost 5 in a row, when you finally get Wu to put together a nice outing on the road, and you still give up the cheeks in the 7th inning. Now you got to go and you got to talk to the media. This is where leadership is the hardest. And there's something that is missing from this group right now, and it's that I don't give up dude who is going to apply some pressure. Shannon says this all the time. You can't play baseball harder. That's just not what you do in baseball, right? But every now and then you need someone to light a fire and just be raw and aggressive. You know, these are supposed to be alpha men in this clubhouse, and it feels like everything's always just so, oh, yeah, well, you know, we just got to try harder. And, you know, I want someone to hop on a mic and be like, unacceptable.
Well, was this okay for you from Cal? This was Cal yesterday. Impromptu, by the way. Walked out there with his cleats on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. Not playing well. You know, that starts with me. I'm awful. So it is what it is. I gotta find a way to be better and to help, you know, bring the guys along. And they, you know, we just got to play better. I mean, ultimately,
Look, not the fieriest guy.
Yeah.
We all knew that about Cal. But
100.
going in front of the mic after a horrible strikeout to end a game, not a competitive at-bat, you did not reward your teammate who got on base by having a patient AB and staying in the game. You were trying to be the hero. Or not consciously maybe, but like I'm sure that Cal knows that the criticism he has applies to himself. You can hear him say it. We're not good. It starts with me. I'm awful.
Yeah.
What else do you want from the guy?
Yeah.
But here's how I feel about it. I think Cal's a perfectly fine leader. I think he's a good leader. I don't think the same type of leader works for every guy in a clubhouse. And it's why I wish the Cal Randy thing would have been handled differently. And it's why, in hindsight, it feels like it's very much still a factor, or at least a factor that started off something that's now an issue.
You got to lead in your own way. I feel that. Cal's not that guy. Cal's exactly what we just heard right there. You know, thank you for taking accountability. I think that fans want and need to hear it, you know, but he needs help. We talked to Dave Sims yesterday. Dave Sims says Julio's not the guy to rally the troops and say, follow me into the fire. I got you guys. I don't know what Josh Naylor, what he's like. The thing with Josh Naylor is, leadership is earned as well. And when you're not playing good, you haven't been around the longest. It might take a while. Even though we saw someone like Santana a few years ago come in and just, but he's also been in the league for 100 years. You know what I mean? So he
was the oldest guy there.
Yeah, he understands how to do things. It's just when you're not doing your best as a team, leadership is at its toughest, and it almost feels like they're scrambling to try to figure out how to make it through this. Dan is a second-year manager. He hasn't really been through this. So it's almost like everyone's looking at each other like, who's going to be the guy? Who's going to do it? Now, you got to execute. All right, execution helps with leadership. Right now, it's at its hardest, and I think that is don't know where to turn.
Can I get back to the Cal Randy thing for just 1 second? We actually had Mark DeRosa on the show, who, as the manager of Team USA, talked about it.
No one knew it was coming, and you know what? I think if go back and do it again, I think Cal would have gave him knocks. I think it was one of those moments where, like, juices were flowing. We were going to battle. We wanted to win the thing. And I don't think there was a big deal behind it. I think it was over in 2 seconds. The 3 years prior, Will Smith did the same thing. I get it. Stuff gets overblown. I didn't think anything.
I don't think there was a big deal behind it from Cal at the time. I think it should have been handled differently by Cal, though, at the time. And I think it should have been handled differently in the days, weeks, and months afterwards. So, like, the way I see it is exactly what I said, and I stand by that. And actually, I think we both agreed on this front. Cal should adapt him up.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge is your teammate for 2 weeks. If your teammates are like, hey, Cal, we need to focus on the game, who cares? I don't play with you. I play with Randy. He doesn't have to be my best friend. He's probably not my best friend. But I play with Randy for the next 6 months. I got to be aware of how this might feel to him. And I know before you text in that there were reports that Cal texted Randy and everyone ahead of time saying, hey, we're doing this thing. Like, just as a heads up, like, don't do this. Like, don't come up and shake my hand. Don't do anything. I don't know. Maybe there's just, for some reason, Randy was like, well, I'm just going to do it. I don't care about this in the same way. Whatever it was, I think Cal was in the wrong in that moment. At the same time, Bump, I'm so over hearing this, like, kind of like, well, Cal ruined it kind of thing. Yeah, I think he messed up. I do. But what now? There are other adults in that room. And in fact, there's an adult in the room at the head of this, Dan Wilson, who's in charge of trying to figure out that chemistry and solve that issue. You think every team I've ever covered has everyone who's a best friend? Absolutely not. I've been interviewing players who have rolled their eyes at other players. I've interviewed players who do not like their head coach. It is what it is. Bump, you've played on teams where everyone didn't get along.
Obviously, these dudes aren't capable of figuring it out.
Right.
Right? We're 100+ games in.
Clearly.
And the stank is still there. You went on vacation. You didn't do your dishes. You came back, didn't take out the trash, and now your house stinks because you didn't take care of the things that you should have taken care of. They're lost right now, man. And obviously, they're not capable of figuring this thing out. And at the end of this road trip, it's going to be too late. But here's the other thing, too, is that the problem that's there or the issue that's there probably won't be there next year. Randy's going to be gone. And it's jacked up that I'm already thinking about next year. But 5 losses in a row on a road trip that I think you're probably only going to win 2 or 3 games makes you start thinking about next year. But they're not capable of handling it. So what does that mean? I think you pointed out before the show that, yes, you want to get ballers, but you got to get culture guys too, man. You got to get guys who have been around the block a few times. Not a Rush Schneider, you know what I'm saying? Not a who we get last time? Turner years ago. You know, someone who is
a Gino.
Still capable of balling, but has experience.
I think that guy last year was Gino. And look, I think there's also a very real thing here with, like, in most baseball clubhouses, not a strict divide, but there are a cultural difference sometimes between Latin players, white players. And, like, even then, you could talk position players and pitchers. Like, you need multiple types of leaders in a room. I don't think Cal's not a good leader. I think Cal is a better leader for a type of person, and that you need lots of leaders in there. And one thing that in hindsight, it was not obvious in March. In hindsight, I don't know that they have the right mix of leaders. I think Cal's one of them. I really do. Just because Cal isn't a great leader with Randy and messed up that moment, I don't think you can write off his character and write off his leadership. He's 29 years old. He's more famous than he's ever been for the first time. Let him learn from that moment. Again, I think he was in the wrong in that moment, but let him learn from that moment. You can't, like, continue to just be like, oh, well, he should have shaken his hand. Yeah, we all know, man. Like, I agree. Well, I fundamentally agree.
Also, Cal ain't, man, I saw they put up his numbers last night, batting 160.
Yeah.
Batting 160.
Last 7 is like 150.
And here's the thing, too, is that voice is a bit more quieter when you're batting 160. When you have an opportunity to come through in the clutch for your team, and you haven't done it more times than not. And yes, Cal has had the most interesting 12 months that we've ever seen. This time last year, on top of the world, leading the team in bombs, best catcher in the game, and now you flip it around to this, and he's dealing with something he's never been. It's the lowest he's ever been in his professional career. So it's a learning process. He's going to go through this. He has to go through this, and hopefully he's better after this is all said and done. But in the moment, the house stinks right now.
Yep.
Take the trash out. Do the dishes. Clean your room. It is bad right now.
Well, and figure out what you need to change that isn't just numbers. And maybe this is a weakness of the Mariners' decision makers. I don't know. Maybe Mariners decision makers need to look at the types of people that you have in a clubhouse and recognize that you need a mix of things. This is a multi-ingredient recipe you need for a World Series run. And I don't think that having one ingredient means that ingredient's bad. It means you need to add to it. Like Kate in West Seattle says, to be honest, Cal came off as rude for not shaking Randy's hand. I agree. And came off as kind of rude ever since. I don't agree with that. I think he comes off as pretty insecure right now. I think he comes off as not confident, really frustrated. And also, I think Cal's gruff.
He's gruff?
Gruff. I think he's a little harsh. I think he's a little, maybe not the most tactless and soft in his delivery sometimes. That's just how he is. And you knew that's how he was. I also think he's kind of introverted and is going to need to, like, process things a little bit.
He wasn't gruff last year. Last year he was.
Have you ever seen that clip of him going up onto the mound with Matt Brash when Matt Brash is a rookie?
Yeah, but that's different because he deals with those guys. That's another part of this thing.
But that's the thing, too. So if you're comfortable with who you deal with.
If he's the guy, he's got to be able to talk to everybody in that clubhouse, have their attention, and lead. Yeah, he's a bit more dramatic with the pitches because he deals with them all the time, right? So even in football, right? Like I just said, in the locker room, you have so many different positions, and guys have their leaders. But then there are the 3 guys who work the whole dang locker room. That's like the Julian Love of the team.
Right.
That's the Leo. That's the quarterback. I think he could probably do a better job at that.
But is it Julian Love's place to go up to the wide receivers and say something? And
if they ain't getting a job done, catch a dang ball.
But you don't think that if you're JSN or if you're someone in that room, you're going to go, hey, Julian, especially imagine that Julian Love's struggling, and imagine that the defensive backs are giving up their, like, 3rd most passing yards per game, and you're through 8 weeks in the season. You're going to look at Julian Love, and you're going to say, why don't you do your job? I think you need multiple leaders in a room. You need multiple leaders for different groups. I said multiple leaders,
but if someone who has a track record of being a baller and a leader talks to you, and we're not talking Jason, he ain't going to talk to Jason like that. Jason's a baller.
Well, then maybe Cal needs to be better there.
There are levels to this stuff.
Sure.
You ain't going to talk to Jason like that. You ain't going to talk to you like that. Bobo. You're going to talk to Foster. You're going to talk to maybe even Rashid, right? Because They haven't done it yet. There are levels to this. Cal, I'm not saying Cal needs to go around and point his finger at people. I'm just saying, like, look, you know what a leader does? Understands the room and understands who each person is in that room. If I am Julian Love, I'm not going up to Jason with the same energy that I'm going up to Jake Bubble with. Jason, it's more collaborative. You're a leader yourself. Hey, this is what we need. Boom, 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 boom. Collaborative. Now, there's a guy like Michael Bumpus in 2008, undrafted free agent, jacking up plays and dropping the ball. Hey, Bump, catch the dang ball. You want to be here or not? There's just levels to this stuff. And good leaders understand how to approach each player and meet them where they are.
Being an introvert doesn't mean you can't talk to people. Cal's a minimal talker. All right. Then add someone else to that room. They didn't meet Cal yesterday, Mariners decision makers. They've known him since he was in his early 20s. They've known him since they drafted him in, 2018? I can't remember, 19? This is someone that you already know. Now, they feel that he's a really good leader and especially great with those pitchers. And it's very obvious the pitchers trust Cal. That's something that's obvious. If you need another voice in there or someone that can get through to someone else, I think two things are possible. One, you can say, hey, Cal, work and evolve at being a leader. This was a moment you'd probably and should want back. How do you grow from here? You're 29. What do you do in year 30? What do you do in year 31? But in the meantime, if you're the front office, I think it's up to you to look at this room and say, what are the culture pieces we need to consider when we're building a team? And frankly, if you're Dan, you should have resolved this much more effectively months ago. Because is it entirely on two teammates who maybe aren't the best of friends that had a bad interaction, even if one of them's more at fault? Is it entirely on those teammates, or is it on someone whose strength was purportedly building up a locker room and being in guys' corners? Is it on him to solve that?
Everybody involved. Dan, obviously the leader. They're going to follow his lead. But when it comes to locker room, clubhouse, scuffles, or disagreements, I always look at the players first and say, y'all got to fix this. I can stand in front of the team and talk about our philosophy and what we should do, but Dan has an office in the clubhouse, right? He's got his own area for a reason. He's the manager. It's what happens when that door is closed and everyone else is in there together. How does the family fix it?
But what if you don't resolve it? Like, I appreciate that in this insight into the Seahawks through Hard Knocks is really interesting, but like, it's not like Mike McDonald, and it's not like Pete Carroll didn't still oversee and guide and steer a lot of that. It is great to have players with accountability. I think Cal should have handled the WBC thing differently, and I do think that there's an effect on chemistry in this class. I don't know how massive it is, but I think that there's a leadership void in a couple different places, even though I think Cal is a good leader for who he is and who he oversees. You need more. Both you and I agree on that. I think that you just see it as more up to the players to resolve, and I see it as like, I don't think that's how. I think that you need more from your manager, just like I think you need more from your head coach.
Let's agree on this. It's all jacked up for the Mariners, top to bottom, from the management, the players they put together, Dan, the leadership, not getting in front of things, the players not handling it themselves. But end of the day, it comes down to execution. And they're just not playing a ball right now.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, a year after selling for $10 billion, the Lakers were sold again to a group led by Disney CEO Bob Iger for $12 billion today. What's the real headline?
On a definitely unrelated note, former owner Mark Walter is under investigation for tax fraud. Totally unrelated stories, just kind of two things that happen to be going on with your Lakers, Bump.
Yeah. Hey, way to flip that, man. Got $2 billion out of that? Way to flip that.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Good business investment is the way I see it.
Sure.
This is weird, though. 14 months, and we're already sold again.
It's very
I
weird.
heard this news from my mom. My mom texted me, our Lakers are being sold again. I'm like, thanks for the breaking news, Mom. Yeah, weird.
What do you mean, thanks for the breaking news? Thank you, Renee, for letting Bump know.
Yeah, she hit me with the breaking news.
Yeah.
Thanks for the breaking news.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being
Why are you
sarcastic.
trying to start stuff with me and my mama?
I'm not trying to start stuff. It's just I'm always in Renee's corner.
Clearly.
Yeah. I was ready to start stuff is what it was.
You were. That was a sincere thank you, mother.
It really was. I stood up and I said, and what? Just kidding. I take it back. That was a sincere thank you. I was trying to have her back.
You had it.
I did.
You did.
And you know what?
You do it again.
Yeah, I sure would. No, I don't really know what to make of this. Curtis, is the assumption that, like, Mark Walter, under pressure from the federal government, you offload this clearly.
Get himself a couple extra billion to
I don't really understand
move
what's
stuff
going
around.
We need Pablo Torre on this.
Yeah, I think there's also a local impact with this because I imagine this will increase the expansion fee in Las Vegas and Seattle. It sounded like this group sought out the Lakers after it looked like the competition for the Las Vegas ownership was going to be a little too stiff for them. So they were like, well, let's just go buy the Lakers instead.
Yeah.
Apparently, this deal came together in the last 72 hours. Like, no one even knew
That's
the Lakers
weird.
were.
That's
no one knew
very
the Lakers
weird.
were up for sale.
I'm sorry. There is something and probably a lot of shady things happening with this, and we need multiple people, again, led by Pablo Torre, on it right now. I do want to say something. Someone said, Mama Bump, NBA Insider, and I was thinking, how funny would it be in, like, very typical mom fashion, at least how my mom does things, like if we have mom insiders with updates, but it's hours, maybe even days after news happens. You know what I mean?
Like it.
My mom texts me next week. Did you see that fullback isn't playing this year? Mom, just like updates.
I like it.
Yeah.
That should be a thing.
Mm-hmm. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Bears safety Kobe Bryant will miss 4 to 6 months after undergoing knee surgery yesterday. What's the real headline?
And this might be bad news for the Seahawks. Obviously, it's bad news for Kobe, and really disappointing because ultimately it sounded like it was going to be 8 weeks, which would have put him for a return around October, which that's encouraging. That's great. Okay, 8 weeks? Well, that's missing a month of the season because it's still early enough in training camp. 5 months puts you in January 12th. You're in the playoffs.
Oh, that's unfortunate, man. Got his money, was over there, felt wanted. That's the greatest thing in sports is when, you know, in college when you're being recruited, you're wanted. Free agency, teams are throwing bags at you, you're wanted. And then you get there, you're ready to get to work and prove you're worth it. And this happens, man. It's unfortunate, but it's football. And just hope he gets better, man.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the Mariners tried to put an end to their 5-game losing streak tonight against the Yankees. What's the real headline?
Hey, we're losing here. Hey.
Out of my way.
Bada bing, bada boom. There's no bada boom in this lineup right now.
No.
That's what I should have said. Dang it.
Yeah, that would
right
have
in
been
front of me
it.
the
I mean,
whole
that was
time.
still good, though.
Yeah.
That was still good. We got Bryce on the mound today. We'll see how that works out. And we'll see if anyone other than Randy can drive some runs in.
You know, this is a frustrating thing is their September schedule is so unbelievably easy on paper. We've seen them lose to bad teams. And it might not matter if they're 10-plus games back. Like, if they bury themselves in August, you could have the most unbelievable September and come up a game short, and it might not be enough.
I'm telling you, this road trip is going to determine a lot for me. Maybe for a lot of other people too, but it's hard watching these games because it's almost like you feel it happening. You feel the momentum shift, and it's like, here we go, it's happening.
Do you know what I did when they were up 1-0? I went on MLB's scores page, and I just kept going back to find the last 1-0 win by a team.
Where'd you
That's how
find it?
desperate. I had to go back. I went to Friday and then didn't go further than that. So I went Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, and couldn't find a 1-0 win. And then something else happened in the game, and I got distracted. But that's how desperate I was, just to be like, this is done often enough, right? We see this.
Yeah.
No.
Mine was to sit back and say, it's not enough. When is it going to happen? And it did.
God, we didn't even talk about the record decision. We'll get to that a bit later in the show. Jordan Shusterman going to be joining us in a little over 30 minutes. Coming up next, we were wondering how serious the Seahawks were about potentially signing Terrion Arnold. After Hard Knocks last night, it turns out maybe more serious than we thought. That's next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gauge Thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps your meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, August 26th through the 30th. Keep the excitement going all week long with high-energy live concerts featuring country and rock artists, including classic American rock band Jefferson Starship and Canadian country artist Allie Walker. The Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today and all the info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing. For $50 off your cooling system service, visit buckys.com.
Right now is the perfect time to save some money, and one of the easiest ways to save, take the First Mark Challenge. Molly and I took the First Mark Insurance Challenge, and we saved thousands of dollars the first year with First Mark Insurance, and we've been saving ever since. Here's how. First Mark Insurance works for you, not one insurance company. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for your needs. And when you need them, well, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help you. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark year after year after year. Take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation, and you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? Your savings? They start tomorrow. firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
August is always a time of excitement because football is back. But anyone that watches practice or preseason games knows how much work needs to be done before the season starts. If you're feeling the same about your home project, Harley Exteriors wants to help you get a head start on making sure your home is ready for fall football nights. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off your final project. Spend a few minutes with the folks at Harley Exteriors during your free estimate, and you'll realize you have a lot in common. They love our local teams, they're good at what they do, and they'll take care of your home. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home project this month and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires August 31st, 2026.
HarleyExteriors.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Cascade Machinery and Electric is a multi-generational family-owned and operated industrial equipment expert. They're hiring field service technicians now. They offer competitive pay, great benefits, and a career with a company that values hard work and loyalty. Come join the team known for showing up, working hard, and delivering results for over 100 years. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers. Again, that's cascade-machinery.com/careers. Don't wait. Apply today.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With advanced hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
At Dunn, relationships are everything. It's why we build a culture around building the best relationships possible, building joy and trust, one interaction at a time. So whether you need trusted advice, help with material selection, project planning, or loading your vehicle, we go the extra mile to remove as much of the hassle as we can. If there's anything we can do to serve you better, contact me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, Bump, with the news that the Seahawks worked out cornerback Terrion Arnold, facing charges, by the way, for kidnapping, cut by the Lions. Former first-round pick, so pretty big deal there. I thought, well, is this just doing due diligence or is this serious? And to be honest, I kind of settled on, like, maybe they're just checking it out to be thorough and, like, maybe this doesn't mean anything at all. Then Hard Knocks showed the workout, John Schneider talking to Mike McDonald about it, John Schneider talking to other folks about it. Did they not seem more serious than you thought? Maybe you felt differently. Maybe you thought it was pretty serious. I just thought, like, they're just checking it out. But, like, I'm surprised it was in the episode, and I'm surprised that it seemed to be a very serious interest.
No, I say they're doing their due diligence, and a player like Arnold, you're not just going to have him come in and you're going to send just your assistant coach out there to work him out. I mean, it's a first-round draft pick. This is a guy who could possibly help this defense. No, I think you don't just bring guys in. I think you have a genuine interest if you're bringing someone in. So, and then it's the production too, right? But Mike even backed it up. He said, we're just doing our homework, due diligence. We're making sure that if he's available, he's good to go. I didn't really put any expectations on it. I thought that this is something that happens all the time without us knowing. They bring guys in constantly. You know, I've been in the locker room when I see, when I was coming up with Sammy Parker, was a receiver out of Oregon, went to the Chiefs, had some good years over there. I saw him roll in. I saw some other veterans roll in. So Sammy Parker ended up making the team. The other guy didn't. So I don't think they just bring guys in for the fun, for the heck of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and the production makes it a lot more serious, too.
All right, well, let's take a listen back to some of those exchanges on Hard Knocks. This was defensive coordinator Adam Dirty.
What about that guy? Is there anything on that guy in Detroit that won the cut?
You know, John's looking into it. You know,
he's going spy mode.
Yeah.
In spy mode. Let's hear from John in spy mode.
We have 90 players here right now. We're always kind of looking for what's next. How do we get ready for, you know, a corner that's not here yet? You know, like guys that we're going to need at a certain point. You want to be strong and as healthy as possible in December, January.
And doing his due diligence, talking with Jalen Milroe about Terrion.
Last time I was talking about Terrion. Talked to Jalen about him. Oh yeah, what'd he say? He was awesome. He's like, he's got a buddy, high school buddy. He's like, this place would be awesome for him. Just had a baby. His wife would move up here. His girl would move up here with him. It'd be awesome. It's like it's just like Spoon. Joey thinks he is going to be able to play in the preseason. Sweet. Yeah.
Two of them obviously teammates at Alabama, so some background there from Jalen.
Oots too, right? Oots probably was with him as well. Those Bama dudes. He can play. I went and watched some film on this dude, and good hips, good instincts, can tackle, can cover, all that stuff. Why wouldn't you take a good look at him? I think the Saints brought him in as well. Some other teams are probably going to bring him in. He's that good of a player to where if he can, I was going to say get away with it. If he can prove that he's not guilty, the Hawks won't be the only team after him.
I do wonder not only whether they would seriously pursue him, which it sounds like they might be, what he would add, and we'll get back to kind of your analysis of what you see on film from Terrion. And also, like, look, the big question, does it mess up the chemistry? Like, chemistry is a fickle thing. We just spent 17 minutes talking about how one interaction and then a failure to fix or address that might have cratered chemistry for the Mariners this season. And that's a very real thing. Now, it's a theory, but look, it's a weird season for the Mariners. We just ranted about that for almost 20 minutes. You do have to be careful. Even a very strong foundation can have one person that gets there, and if he's not the right fit or influences other people, it's a problem. So
Here's the thing with that, though, is that, yeah, it could be a problem. It could be a problem. But they have so many veterans and leaders and guys who are bought into that. Man, one dude start tripping, they are jumping on him. I mean, you saw in the episode last night, like, they didn't jump on D-Hall, but it was D-Law and Leo, like, little brother, and like, oh, you're just going to fight everybody today, huh? You know, like, it gets nipped real quick with this organization.
All right. John Jansen, who's on 97, won the ticket in Detroit, joined Brock and Salk this morning. He was asked why the Lions cut Terrion Arnold.
I think he was, when the charges originally came out, whatever the conversations were with Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, I don't think he was 100% forthcoming with everything that happened. I don't know that he was, and then, you know, obviously when he was arraigned, well, all those things, none of us know if he's guilty or not. And we don't have all of the facts, but I just believe that whatever he told those two individuals didn't mesh with some of the things that came out later. And that to me is most likely why he was immediately released. But it was also the fact that he wasn't a major contributor on this defense.
So two bits there. One, that he hadn't been a major contributor, and Detroit probably felt slightly more comfortable moving on than they would have if it was, hey, we just took him in the first round. And secondly, I could see for an old school coach like Dan Campbell and for kind of, frankly, an old school organization like the Lions, how someone lying about what happened would be just as bothersome.
I think that's more the issue. If he didn't get in trouble, he's on the Lions. Like, he's on the team. He's not getting cut. He's going to play. He's going to start. And this is the one thing that is rough with me sometimes. It's like when a player gets in trouble or something happens, now all the naysayers come out. Now all the negative comes out on the player. And obviously this guy's closer to the team than I am. I can only tell you what I saw on film and a couple people that I've spoken to. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. And if he doesn't get in trouble, he's on this team. So he's going to get piled on, though. This is what happens. Guys get in trouble, and now all their flaws are just highlighted.
Right.
But he would have been on the team if he
you want to add reasoning to it. Like, well, we might have cut him anyway.
Yeah.
Because he got benched. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know that you would have burned that pick. A little bit more, though, on how John Jansen saw Terrion Arnold before this news.
He would have been one of the last names that I would have picked. Now, I've had a chance to interview him. I've had a chance to talk to him, get to know him a little bit. You hear Coach Saban talk about him, and it is the furthest thing I thought that Terrion Arnold would be wrapped up in. And you and I, we all were young once. We've all done stupid things. This one, obviously, it takes it to another level. So I don't know what to make of it because it doesn't mesh with the Terrion Arnold that everyone talks about.
The Lions knew what to make of it, and it was, we don't like the allegations. The allegations might very well be true, and we don't like that you lied to us about the allegations.
Yeah, and maybe you're not playing to the level that we thought you were going to be.
Right, and maybe that made
I'm not saying dude is all-pro, Pro Bowl type of dude, but like I said, he would have been on the team if all this didn't happen. But now you start piling on, and maybe you're not having the greatest camp. You're like, yeah, cut him.
I will say this, and this is not to play like morality police or pass judgment, but yesterday when we asked, hey, just listeners, how do you feel about this? How would you feel about the addition? I was surprised at the number of people that were like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I think it's also, look, this doesn't sound great, but I think there are certain allegations that bother people and get to people in different ways. And, abuse and things like that, I think people tend to have more visceral reactions where, like, that says something about you as a person and I don't vibe with that. Versus, like, with Michael Kendricks and the insider trading stuff, I think people were like, Now, this is not a white-collar crime by any means. This is a felony. This is something you're being investigated for. But, like, maybe it's that. I was just thinking about it yesterday, like, why? I'm surprised. Like, maybe it's the type of crime. That's the only thing I could think of. Or that there's so much faith in what this organization has and in John and Mike that people are like, you know what? I think if he got here and was a problem, they'd cut him, and they wouldn't think twice. So maybe that's it, too. I don't know. I was surprised by that. Get Off My Lawn coming your way next.
Yeah, isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like, pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing. For $50 off your cooling system service, visit Bucky's.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Feeling lucky?
Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Back to the Mariners in 15 with Jordan Shusterman. Before we get to that, it's a Wednesday. It's 10:45. 10:46. And Bump has three things grinding his gears that you just got to rant about for a minute. So this is a safe space. Tell us. I heard Matt laughing through soundproof glass right now in the control room. Tell us what's on your mind.
Okay.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
This one doesn't count, just a bonus one. Thanks for Tyler in Tacoma. I'm telling you to get off my lawn because Emmanuel Wilson is my guy. Okay. And you guys will no longer put that garbage out into the universe. Emmanuel, you're my guy. Let's get it.
I hope everyone succeeds in life. Not Emmanuel Wilson.
I just pick a lane. Like, you can't say both things can't be true for you. You can't say that you hope everyone except for Emmanuel Wilson succeeds in life and then simultaneously say he's your guy. That doesn't make sense.
Never said it. Anyway.
You're not being philosophically consistent.
Anyway, Manny hit me up. All right, first one. You know, you ever, they have like auctions and stuff, right, where they auction cars and like construction equipment and stuff. People who buy the police cars and don't paint the white spot black or whatever the color of the car is black, get on my dang nerves, man. My eyes are just conditioned just to always find the police, right? It's just how I grew up. Growing up, they used to mess with us every now and then, so we have to be on alert. And I'm driving the other day, and I see this car. I'm like, all right, well, let me just set my speed limit so I make sure I don't speed or whatnot. And then I see the police car, and it drives by. It's like some teenage girl driving a car because her dad probably got that thing at an auction. You must have to paint the white spot black when you buy the cars from the auctions. You are fooling the public, okay? I typically don't speed, not on the residentials or main streets. On the highway, I might go like 5 or 10 faster, but you must paint those dang cars. It's ridiculous, and you're lying to the people.
I was looking up whether driving a fake police car, which it would kind of be at that point, is illegal. It says it can be depending on what you're doing. Like if you still have sirens and you're operating sirens, that's illegal.
No, they still have the little light on the side too. Where the flashlight where they get at people. It's not fair. It's not right.
I wonder if that's a crime.
Nah.
You're impersonating an officer.
Well, they sold the car to the auction place and they bought it. So there
has to be something. Someone needs to do something about this.
As long as the lights aren't on the top, I think they're good. But I'm just looking at the side of the car, and this little teenage girl drives by, and I'm like, you had me.
Maybe she was a cop.
Do the speed limit. She was not a cop. There's no emblem on the side. It was you just see the black and white. You like, they go to Popo.
Maybe she's undercover. Just a little bit, though. Not a lot. What's next?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
So I'm about to start traveling again. Just got my schedule for the Pac-12. And I was reminded by a friend of the situation. So when you do those regional flights, maybe from Seattle to San Francisco, sometimes you get those airplanes with 2 seats, not 3 in a row. Got 2, right? And you get those planes, you have to know that the space up top, there's not a lot of space to put your bags. It's just smaller planes.
Yeah.
So every now and then, a person who's sitting like in row 7 will have to go to row 25 and put their bag up there because there's nowhere to go.
You're making too much sense.
Here's the thing. If you have to go back and put your bag in row 32 and you're row 7, when it's time to deplane, you just got to wait. You got to wait, let everybody go through, and then you go back and get your bag because you're jacking up the whole flow of this thing, right? You're trying to rush to the back, get your bag, and then now you're trying to cut everybody through the front. No, just take the L, okay? Relax, sit down, and let's keep this thing flowing. I'm all about efficiency when we travel. Don't go to the back when it's time to deplane. Wait at 7. Everybody clears up.
Was someone trying to move past people to get to the back of the plane? That's crazy.
And
that's
then
barely
work
a
the way back
single
up.
row.
And then work the way back up. If you do want to work your way back, there's a gap. Move to the next aisle.
Yes.
There's a gap. Move to the next aisle. Like, you got to slowly do it.
And you can go max and like hold up the line. I think like 3 rows back max to be like, oh, so sorry. Like you can't otherwise push the line. And frankly, if you're in row, let's say like 7, and your bag's all the way back there, you were late boarding. You were late boarding.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how that happened.
Yeah.
Now, it's not weird. I've had my bag like maybe a couple rows behind you because, someone's, they're not stacking them right or whatever. Complaint for another day. But like you were late boarding this plane, and now you got to be late deboarding this plane.
It just is what it is.
Okay, what's last?
Last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I love going places and watching ball games. Just watched the Mariners game the other day. And I typically go to the same spots, right? I go to Moonshine. I go to the Cut Shop. Those are my spots. But every now and then I'll go somewhere else. And if you are a mom and pop type of bar, there should be no light pours. The pours should be heavy. Now, I know Joey's isn't going to have a heavy pour, a Sin, Earl's. You are a mom and pop. You take care of your people, and that pour needs to be heavy because I know the drink is going to be cheap, and we're going to tip because we know you're a mom and pop. If I go to Joey's, man, I'm tipping 18% and calling it good.
Yeah.
But if I go to a mom and pop,
25, 30.
Man, I'm hooking you up. So hook up the pour. I got the lightest pour yesterday. The lightest pour. I'm not going to blast the bar.
Okay.
Because I actually like going there.
Will you tell us off air?
I will tell you off air. But I had the lightest pour. And I looked at that person. I said, for real, man, ask for a double. That double should dang near be a triple. All right, this is a mom and pop establishment. You don't have the same margins that Joey has and all that stuff. You've probably been here for 25 years. You got your regulars. You've seen me a bunch of times. Like, I was pretty disappointed yesterday. Light pour. And then I had to sit down and watch the Yankees come back and beat the Mariners.
A light pour and a Mariners loss.
And a Mariners loss.
That's a horrible combination. The opposite needs to be true. That's how you have a great night.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen Bar Rescue?
Yes, I love that show.
Maybe they were on Bar Rescue, and John Taffer had his little machine that he has them use that checks to see if they're overpouring.
Guarantee they did not have any type of machine that does any type of measuring of pours.
Have you gotten a healthier pour there before?
Yes, I have.
The bartender.
It's the bartender.
Maybe they don't like you.
I don't know what it is.
That's probably what it is.
I don't know what it is, but heavy pours, mom and pop.
I would just know. Now, I typically assume someone doesn't like me. I think that you should assume the same here. And you should maybe you should test it in the future and see if that same bartender keeps ripping you off.
I am. I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should take it personally.
Obviously, I did. Get off my lawn. Heavy pours.
Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Bryce Miller faces off against Yankees righty Will Warren. What's the biggest thing missing from the Mariners right now, and how can they get it back if they can? Let's ask Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman. He joins us next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
It's Olympic Hot Tub's 49th birthday, and you get the gifts. Big savings on saltwater hot spring spas, plus free Bluetooth music and interest-free financing for 3 years. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily,
There's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PndTreeService.com.
Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. I've been scouting these big carriers for a minute now, and I've seen them pull the same play 1,000 times. They promise you the world, then hit you with a price hike right when the game gets tight. But Boost Mobile, their $25 a month unlimited wireless plan is the most consistent player on the floor. No contracts, no price hikes. Unlock the savings today at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months of the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
Babbel proudly presents The Poison Gift.
Derek, hi.
Hi, I got you something. Ein bisschen Gift.
Gift? Ist das Gift?
Ja, ist das Gift. Für dich.
If you buy her a gift, don't tell her it's poison. Use Babbel. Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners look to even their series against the Yankees today with Game 2 at 4:05 p.m. Bryce Miller gets the start for Seattle opposite Yankees righty Will Warren. Shocker in the NBA this morning, the Lakers are being sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record $12.5 billion. Shocking because this is just 1 year after the Buss family sold the team to Mark Walter for $10 billion, which was a then record for an NBA team. A worthwhile note here, Walter is under federal investigation for alleged tax fraud by his other companies.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Talking Mariners with Yahoo Sports, Jordan Shusterman. You know, Jordan, I do want to get to a conversation and a question for you about team chemistry, which feels like, in leadership, which feels like it's missing from this team right now. But I meant to, earlier in the show, ask Bump about some of the bullpen management from Dan Wilson. We didn't end up getting to it yet, so you're the first time that we're talking about it. How do we not lead off with
lucky
that?
me.
Lucky you.
Oh, great.
Now, here's the thing. This was, and I'll play this for you, Dan Wilson on the decision to go to a low-leverage reliever, Michael Rucker, instead of keeping Ferrer in.
Yeah, I mean, it's those are the tough decisions that you have to make, and I think we decided to go with Ruck tonight, just again, like I said, wasn't able to get through it, and it was a tough one tonight, and tough one to take there, and tough decisions to make.
Probably 10 seconds of actual information or content there, but either way, he said it was between Bizzardo and Rucker. You go with Rucker in the moment, it completely backfires. You leave Rucker in. Just tell us what you made of the decision from Dan. Be honest.
Well, so the real piece of information that it seems like we did acquire somehow, maybe not from Dan in that 10 seconds, is Gabe Spires' availability or unavailability. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty big X factor. Now, that's a whole other thing, right? He hadn't pitched in a week. He was suspended. When does this back issue pop up? I understand you don't. This is not just a Dan Wilson thing. Managers generally don't want to telegraph who is and isn't available beforehand. And then even after the fact, if he's worried he's not going to be available today, then you're thinking, okay, I don't want to say that already. That's its own issue. But even still, right. I mean, putting Rucker in that spot where, give him credit, he has honestly done pretty well when he has not been thrown into the fire. He has performed in a way that if he was the last reliever on your team, he can help you get through a season when you have a lot of guys on the injured list and cover some low leverage innings to kind of stay away from the higher leverage guys. To go to him in the first place is one thing, and then to leave him in, a batter or two too long, I mean, Spires' unavailability clearly matters there, because when I'm watching that, I'm just like, how in the world is Spire not in this game once that inning started to go the way it was going? But even if he's not available, I don't know. And the problem with the way that this team's playing right now is, you can not that wasn't worth getting mad about, but really as that inning unravels, it's not just how that goes. That's frustrating enough on its own. It's then you're like, oh, well, and then also they clearly can't score. So it's like, you were holding on to this 1-0 lead that already felt kind of very delicate. And then to not have the margin for error because of how bad the offense is going, then it kind of turns back to that, which I think when you're talking about the totality of them being bad recently, it is still much more on the offense than Dan's bullpen decisions. That doesn't mean you can't criticize them, because this is quite the trend we have at many intervals along the way. But I don't think that, centering on Michael Rucker is like why this team is where it is.
How important is chemistry in baseball? Because in other sports, I think it's important, but if you could just give me your thoughts on it, because I look at other sports. In football, the guy next to you can either hurt you or help you when it comes to your job, right? In basketball, the same thing. Baseball, I guess you can connect defensively on double plays or whatnot and hitting the cutoff and all that good stuff. But how important is it? Because we started the show trying to figure out, okay, is the chemistry still jacked up from lingering issues that Dan hasn't really put to rest yet? Obviously, it comes down to execution, just performing. But what do you think? How much could chemistry affect a team like the Mariners?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things intertwined, right? You compare it to the other sports. You're only dealing with so many players in a basketball locker room. Football is much larger, but there are certain players and certain individuals that carry a lot of weight in terms of the voice of the team. That's behind the scenes and that's publicly, right? And this is where the Cal Raleigh conversation becomes really interesting because I think, and the Dan Wilson conversation, frankly, right? Because it seems that we know that Cal and Dan Wilson have a good relationship, and that's a big part of the reason why I think that they view Dan as a good candidate to be the leader of this clubhouse. Also, that in a lot of cases, based on the reporting and understanding the dynamic, that Cal is the guy, right? He's kind of the go-between. He's the one that is expected to be leading the team both on the field and off the field. Now, last year, you couldn't have asked for much more, right, in every sense. And when he's playing like an MVP, it's easy to be like, all right, that's our guy. That's our guy. He's speaking up. Behind the scenes, he's speaking up. He's talking to the media more than anybody else because he's on this historic home run race. This year, and this is relevant too because of what happened last night, where he goes out of his way to come out and speak and be like, I'm bad. I'm not good enough right now. I'm not doing my job. And I respect Cal for that, and I appreciate that. And I know Brian Wu backs him up there, and he says, however he's performing, he's our guy, he's our leader, that's a true leader. But you have to imagine it's also harder. First of all, the fact, and we talked about this at the time, when he just straight up wasn't around because of the injury, that's one thing. But then for him to come back and continue to struggle, it's just hard to know who to turn to look to. And I think that because Dan seems to be so hands-off in that regard, they're just kind of floating. That doesn't mean it's bad chemistry. That doesn't mean no one's not getting along, but it is hard or that they don't like each other, but they're just kind of aimless in that regard because there's no one that's like taking hold and being like, here we go, like get on my back in the way that Cal obviously did last year.
What does leadership kind of have to look like in different clubhouses based on maybe what you've heard from other reporters or in covering those teams? Because one thing that we also talked about is like, I think it is possible that Cal is a great leader for some guys and maybe his style doesn't resonate as much for other guys. And I don't think it means you go, okay, we got to find someone else. It can't be Cal. I think it means you need different guys. You just need multiple guys that can speak to. There are a lot of people in a clubhouse, like different types of personalities. And like, I think it's very possible that like based on Cal's actual play on the field and maybe just who he is and how he is, that there are some guys where it just doesn't really move them in the same way. But like there are other guys it does. So do you see successful clubhouses have multiple guys that do that? And what do those personalities do? Or is there usually like one guy that handles it?
Yeah. No, I think it probably should be multiple people. I think, if anything, the more we center on this, and I know I brought it up and I do think he is the central figure here, it also just speaks to like how much they're putting on this guy, right? I mean, like you can think about the pressure that he already had because of the performance that he put up last year, but then to also be expected to be leading this team behind the scenes through what is something that he has never experienced, right? Individually, Cal Raleigh has been, and we credit to my co-host Jake Mintz, because I think he pointed this out when we had a long Cal discussion on the podcast we recorded this morning. Cal has been on an upward trajectory for essentially his whole life, right? He has gotten better every single season. And we knew that this year was going to be a challenge in replicating last year, but even staying at the level. But let's zoom out even farther. The Mariners have been a winning team essentially since the moment Cal Raleigh has arrived. And now he finds himself not only at a personal low that is so much lower than anything we could have possibly fathomed, and that's its own huge issue for the team, and a big reason why they are where they're at. They're losing a lot. They're 8 games under 500. For all the ups and downs that they've had over the last few years, including some playoff misses, they've ended up a winning team fairly comfortably every single time, right? When they hit the low point last year, same thing, got swept by the Rays. They go to Atlanta, they lose the other game. They're 4 games back of the Astros. It's a disaster. There were still multiple games over 500, and there were so many other things going well, including Cal, that you could still look around and say, we're a good team. How can this team look around right now and say they're a good team when so much is going wrong?
Right.
They can't. Now, there's the same players are still there, and you know that the talent is still there, and that's why so many people outside of Seattle and even in Seattle don't want to give up. But there's just so much less to hang on to. There's so much less to fall back on this season that makes you think you can get out of it, and that makes it even harder when the hole's already where it is, and when you got a really tough 20 games right ahead of you. before you even have a chance to claw back into it with an easy schedule in September.
On a positive note, Wu actually looked good on the road yesterday. The first inning scared me, though. I'm like, 32 pitches. Goodness gracious. Like, how is he going to get through? But gets through 5, sat down 5, and walked 1. What did you see from Wu yesterday?
I believe he also set a career high in velocity. He was up to 99, which is like, okay. I mean, that's someone pitching with a little bit of fury, right? And even though the offense wasn't helping him out, he was kind of, and the pitch count was getting up there, and maybe that's why he was only allowed to go 5 instead of 6. But that did look like someone that was kind of pitching angry, for his personal season where he has been having all these struggles on the road. And then also, of course, just where the team is at in general. It was a nice reminder that Brian Wu can, he can mess you up if he's locked in. That is a really, really good pitcher. The Yankees offense, we should also point out, has been very bad for quite a while. And without Aaron Judge, they're also still kind of looking lost, but they've made some deadline additions that should certainly help them a little bit. And they found a way to get the runs when they needed last night. It's not like they scored 15, but they certainly looked a little bit more cohesive than what Seattle was putting out there. So that said, I do think it shows that there is a way to kind of shut down these Yankees. This is just not the juggernaut offense that it has been, or certainly it is when they're fully healthy because they're just missing so many guys. So there's an opportunity there, but it just goes back to the same thing. If the Mariners can't score, none of this is going to really matter very much. So I agree. It was definitely an encouraging showing from Wu. And you're right. You have these glimpses with the starters, or if Julio has a big game, you see it, but it's so fleeting across the board that it's hard to feel like, oh, they found it. Here they go.
I don't mean to do so much of like a post-mortem examination of the Mariners from like a big picture point of view, but it's hard not to when this is what I'm thinking of. Like what I'm thinking of most today is, do they have a void in leadership? How does Cal get better there? Do they need someone else? Like those are the things I'm thinking of today, and it's less about like, and let's talk about Miller versus Wilson.
Sure, that's fair.
So another one of my questions is a big picture question. I know where the offense has failed this year, and there's no person to point to more than Cal, and it's why he's pointing at himself. I know where Dan Wilson has failed this year. I'm having a hard time figuring out, not that I don't think there's blame there, where to point at Mariners decision makers. And I think there is a conversation about payroll and talent acquisition and roster building. I just don't, that one's the hardest thing for me to pin down, because in past years, Bump and I have routinely been like, you got to spend more, man. You have to be more aggressive. To start this year, it was probably the most, Bump, I would say, optimistic we've been about a roster, in certainly since we've been on air, but for me, for like years. Yeah. So I wasn't really talking a lot about Jerry and Justin need to be better here. So now I'm getting into this habit where I have in many Mariners seasons going, okay, and let me look at the Mariners brass, and I'm trying to pinpoint what the issue is. What do you think it is?
I mean, I think they're fair questions. I struggle with it too. I think that this is really hard, especially because I think from a process standpoint, at many points along the way, the spending has been an interesting one because there's only so many examples of that. Now, if you want to interrogate the Josh Naylor signing, like, go right ahead. I mean, that's not exactly looking awesome so far, but still early there. But there's only so many big contracts that they have or haven't given out. And like, even when I talk about process, I mean, Rep Snyder won. What more did you want? Like, he looked to check exactly what they needed. And you can say, well, but also he was 35 and 36, and they keep getting guys right after they are clearly done. And that is a trend that you have to say they struggle at identifying outside the organization. Brendan Donovan, who was such a huge piece of what the offseason puzzle was. They finally get that trade over the finish line after months and months of anticipation. He's played 30 games. I don't even know how to evaluate that. Now, fortunately, he's under contract for another season, so it's not like it's completely gone to nothing, and maybe he can make an impact down the stretch. But I have no idea how to even evaluate that. Then you look at guys like Cole Emerson, right? Like, where are the big decisions that the organization has made, and how do we evaluate those? Because I think overall, when you think about the health and the talent that they've accumulated, the development, the farm system, the drafting, they're doing so much pretty well. Like I think there are a lot of teams that would look at, especially coming into this season, and I know now you have real questions about some of these pieces, but they've made aggressive trades. They've traded away prospects when it felt like the time was necessary. And then, especially when we talk about this past deadline or even this past offseason, it's still always felt like there's a couple moves short. But those feel like smaller complaints than these huge infrastructure things that I do feel like the Mariners are doing almost as well as any, where there are some organizations that are just so lost in that regard that they're so far behind and they have even less of a hope. Where they're at now, because of how many things have gone wrong, it's hard to really know. But because, right, the more basic ways are, all right, they've been here for 11 years and what have they won? That's a fair thing to say. But then you can also say, well, I mean, a lot of the decisions they made along the way, the times they got aggressive, the times that they've drafted at certain times well, like they kind of nailed a lot of those. So what is it? Has it been more good than bad? I still think the answer to that is yes. Does that mean that they are the right group to push this thing forward? Clearly this year it hasn't worked, but I don't want to say that they are or aren't, because I still think on the whole that they have done more good than bad. But right, this year's testing just so many things. As to your point, you're looking in so many different directions that it makes it really hard.
Is it over? What do you think? Clearly it's not over. I mean, theoretically, in reality it's not over, but your thoughts. How many games left? 30-something?
40.
Playoff odds today say on FanGraphs say 28%.
It's insane.
Which is the season low. It's obviously by far the lowest that has been this season. And I could look at where that ranks relative to the rest of the AL, but I'm not going to say it's over. I think by the end of this road trip, you might be able to. But that's the problem. It's just going to be such a hole. It's just. It is. You're going to have to make up so much ground, and unfortunately, with the way that the schedule works out, it could be trending towards something that Mariners fans are all too familiar with over the last decade, which is eliminated in the final week.
Yeah, I knew that it was going in this direction. I was like, it's going to be by one game, isn't it? My last question, a little follow-up to Bumps, just very quickly, and we only have you for like another minute, but the fact that it's even close to 30 is crazy to me, because there are times it just fundamentally feels over. Like, I've seen this team be multiple games behind this late in the season, but you feel like there's fight. This one feels rudderless, but it's the weirdest American League West I can remember. Both the Rangers and Astros lost yesterday. Now, the Astros have Jordan, and they've been playing so much better, but is part of you also keeping them alive, not just because of that easier September schedule, but because you have your own questions about the Astros?
Yeah, I mean, again, just going back to those FanGraphs odds, they're still 19% to win the division, which is higher than the Yankees in the AL East, right? So, I don't know. I mean, that's you can't ignore that part. And if anything, and this is a good place to end it, right? Mm-hmm. This weekend is like the whole thing. I mean, however the rest of these two games go in New York is obviously important because you're running out of games in general. But you don't win the series against the Astros, then I don't even. The tiebreakers have already been decided. So it's really more just about, like, they already have the tiebreaker against the Astros, have it against the Mariners, right? So, and the Astros have it against Texas. So, like, we're not talking about the tiebreakers. We're just talking about the standings. If you're going to make up ground and you're going to make the Astros sweat or the Rangers sweat, they play Texas in September. That's what we're talking about. And honestly, maybe it should all be about that. And also maybe why maybe our pal Kate Anderson will be showing up at some point soon.
God, right now we're just the three Spider-Men pointing at each other. That's exactly what the AL West is. He is Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
I like this question. First down, who's your dark horse candidate to be the best number 3 receiver in football this year?
Probably not going to happen.
Okay.
But I'm hearing good things out of the camp. Odell Beckham.
I didn't think you'd say that.
Odell Beckham. He's listed as the number 3 receiver. That's what they have on their depth chart over there. And look, all he needs about 500 yards, 3-4 tutties, and he's good. And I think he's good for that. He just got to be careful. Obviously, got to hope for health or whatnot. But I think that I've been watching him. Obviously, all I get is Instagram or whatever they put out on YouTube or whatnot, and he looks good. I mean, I know he's in his, mid-30s maybe
33.
At this point, but he looks good, man. So, Odell Beckham, I know I got love for the Giants and the Jets this year.
Too much,
so it's
I think.
natural that I look at OBJ and say, go get it.
Second down. What did you think about the conversation between JSN and his wide receiver coach on last night's episode of Hard Knocks?
I think it's only a conversation you have with your number one receiver. I think it's healthy, but you only have it with your number one receiver. I mean, you're talking because clearly JSN is having a little bit of trouble picking up some verbiage with the offense, still making plays and whatnot. And it's funny seeing that interaction because if anybody else had that interaction, if it wasn't Cooper Kupp or Rashid Shaheed, anybody else, it'd be different. The coach gonna be like, man, you better learn this or you ain't gonna be here. You know what I mean? But Jason has so much money in the bank, figuratively and for real, that he can have these conversations. And then I like the back and forth. He goes, Jason says, am I messing up? Coach says, gives his 2 cents. Coach says, am I messing up? The coach asked JSN if he was messing up. That's how you know how much they respect JSN and what he brings to this football team. So I thought it was healthy for a number one receiver and his receiver coach. Everybody else ain't having that conversation.
Third down. Well, it surprised you last night.
It surprised me in a good way. I knew he had it in him, but this Mike getting bucked, man. Mike dropping the F-bomb and saying, last time I checked, I ran this freaking practice.
So good.
It got me so hyped. I'm like, yes, you need that on a football team, but I also like and appreciate the way they hugged it out afterwards.
Yep.
D-Hall does his one-on-ones, and he says, look, it's all about how I take the coaching and come back the next day. It was healthy because those things are going to happen regardless in a football camp, in a training camp. It's going to happen, but it's how it's received was the intensity merited, and now what are we going to do the next day? And I think this is the type of team you show up the next day, and it's nothing. So I love that, man. I was surprised, but I was like seeing it in real time because we're so far away from it, we don't really hear everything, so that was kind of cool.
I cannot wait to get to the sound. We're going to dive into this episode coming up in about 40 minutes, so don't worry. We aren't done talking about it, and we're certainly not done playing the sound from this episode. Fourth down. All right, well, what did Mike McDonald do that's extremely important?
It's important to allow your assistants to take center stage. And Justin Hines, a D-line coach for the Hawks, did exactly that, and I loved it. He made, like, Seattle scriptures. He said, mob is good all the time, mob is good. Then he makes up these fake scriptures, and he's like, it becomes a preacher. But it shows that Mike understands that everybody needs to shine. Not even just the players. My coaches need to shine. They need to show their personalities because this is going to help this football team. And who knows, maybe there's an organization that saw that and says, you know what, we're going to look at Justin Hines. You know, maybe he wants to be D coordinator one day. I'm sure he does want to be a D coordinator. But Mike allowing his coaches to do that in meetings I think are important. I've been in organizations where they don't do that, and I've been in organizations where they do it. So I thought it was great. The players were bought into it. They were hyped. He was performative. Like he captured everybody in the room. I think that's extremely important. Everybody has to shine at some point, especially on that coaching staff.
We are going to get back to this in 40 minutes. Kind of last 2 minutes here. I want to get back to a little bit of what we learned from Jordan. You asked Jordan bluntly, which I appreciated. Are they done? Mm-hmm. Is it over? I imagine Ryan Gosling. It still isn't over, but that's kind of what Jordan said. However, he said, obviously you want to win this series against the Yankees, but like this upcoming series against the Astros probably makes or breaks this season. You already have the tiebreaker, but like this is one of the only ways that you have control over how to climb in the standings. You agree?
Yeah. Comes down to this, Stacey.
I mean, there's still a really easy, a very easy cakewalk September schedule.
There's a way, but they're not instilling a lot of confidence.
I agree with you, and I don't feel a lot of confidence about this team. And I mean, the only hope is to do what 2024 Tigers did, I guess, and kind of make this really late run. But you can't have sunk yourself. And the thing is, too, it doesn't feel like they got a lot of unlucky wins. Or, excuse me, losses. It's not like something's going to go their way eventually. No. It feels like just bad baseball.
Don't feel that way. It hurts.
Some big problems here, and I don't know. Appreciate Cal's comments last night. I don't know if it's fixing things. What would you do if you were a teammate and you heard Cal saying that? Just genuinely putting yourself in.
His post-game deal?
Mm-hmm. What would you think?
What would I think? Good on him, because he is awful this year. He hasn't played some good ball. He's being honest. Thank you for getting in front of the media and taking the bullets. I wouldn't say anything. Just move on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if they do. Coming up in the timeline, you guys remember when Mike Vrabel, in the middle of that scandal with Diana Rossini, said that he was taking some time off to seek off-season counseling? He was asked what he learned in counseling this off-season. We'll hear his answer next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Darian Price here with us. You got your alarm set for Hard Knocks tonight?
I probably won't watch the Hard Knocks until camp is over.
Your phone's going to be blowing up tonight.
I was on the phone with my mom last night, and I did not mention that Hard Knocks is coming out, but it's a big message to everyone out there that we heard earlier this week in a team meeting. Like, call your parents, don't text. They want to hear your voice and how things are going.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Got leaks? Tired of applying those cheap roof coating products that never seem to last? What if you could find a roof coating that remains permanently flexible and won't be impacted by harsh UV rays or temperature extremes? Dunn Lumber has what you're looking for. Geico Roof. 100% silicone roof coating, waterproofs, protects, and withstands permanent ponding water with an industry-leading 50-year limited warranty. Available in a variety of colors and on sale now at Dunn Lumber.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar, never learn to play it, but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Hewitt here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Taking a look around the timeline, we're going to start with what was the single biggest story in sports a couple months ago. Mike Vrabel, when obviously the scandal with Diana Rossini unfolded, he told reporters, hey, I'm going to take a little bit of time away. This was prior to the draft. And I'm going to focus on off-season counseling. So speaking with reporters again, he was asked what he learned in counseling this offseason.
What did you learn from that counseling? And how did you balance that personal commitment with getting ready for this season?
Well, I think we always look at improvement. As we talk about getting ready for the next season, we always look at improvement and ways that we can improve individually and, how we can improve as a team. And it's really critical that we continue to do that on and off the field. I believe in that. I believe in everything that we can do to help this football team, to help our coaches, to help myself and everybody else included. And this journey that we're going to go on, is going to be completely different than the one we went on last year. And that's all of our jobs is to prepare for it now. So really focused on our improvement individually and as a team. And that's something that we can do today. You look at the O-line and we talk about them and their ability to play together as a unit. There's so many combination blocks that they're involved in, and we have to be better.
Love that came back to football.
Came back to the offensive
line.
line.
What did you learn in counseling? Let's talk combination blocks.
He said the same thing 5 times and then threw a position in there as well.
Absolutely.
That is peak coach talk in avoidance of the actual question. I mean, what do you want him to say?
To be fair,
I learned that I shouldn't be texting girls at 1 a.m. when my wife is laying next to me.
To be fair.
What do you want him to say?
Shouldn't have been going on boat rides with pregnant women.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, what you could say is like, hey, I'm going to keep what I talked about private, given that it's a family matter. Thanks for the question. In terms of whether or not it took away with the team and how to balance that, I did have to put in some extra time. I leaned on my assistant coaches for kind of filling me in. I had to, take time out to reach out to players and check in with those position groups, whatever it is. I would have accepted that as an answer. But Mike, oh God.
Yeah, that was he was dancing around that question.
I'm not going to say what I want to say. I just. Did you do off-season counseling?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because none of us were there. Yeah.
I'm just saying, and I don't mean that in a. I'm probably going to regret saying this. Shame on me. But, the vibe I've gotten from Vrabel through this entire thing is that he doesn't feel bad. He was angry that the whole thing came out, that he felt it was prying into his personal life, and that annoyed him. And that saying, I'm going to take time away. I hope that you're taking time away and you're focusing on your family, and that type of betrayal is really difficult to get over, and I hope that you guys can do that. But it also felt just like saying something. And Bump, I agree with you that if you really did do it, I wouldn't want to say what I talked about either. That's private. That's none of your business. My therapist can't even tell you what I did. But did you even do it? Like, was this actually a thing that you didn't care about, or was this just something else to tell reporters, like, so I'm going to step away? Or was this like a PR thing to get you out of the spotlight and move the story so that people would stop talking about an affair ahead of the draft?
I don't think it's fair to
It's not
assume that he didn't do it. We
It's
don't
not
know.
fair for
And
me.
he's not.
That's why I almost said
Nothing
that.
in this whole case would surprise me.
That's
But
why I almost.
he's also not going to stand there and cry. Like, what do you want from him in this situation?
Yes.
Like, he danced around the question, but he ain't going to sit there and be
It's-
like, yeah, actually, I went to Malibu. I sat with my counselor, Dr. Dave, and he told me, like,
Exactly.
you were messing up.
It's not fair for me to question it, and it's why I almost didn't say it on air. But if we were not on air and we were just in the sports pit, I think I would have asked you guys the same thing. I would have been like, do you think he really did it? Like, was there counseling that happened? And
Well,
maybe there was. I hope there was.
The one part of
sincerely.
the whole story that stuck out to me was draft weekend. He said he was going to step away, but still have contact with the war room with the Patriots. And it's like, well, then what's the point of stepping away if you're still going to be heavily involved in the decision making on day 3?
And did this counseling start over the weekend? Like, I don't know. I had some questions at the time. I know, Bump, you think it's unfair. I get it.
A lot of assuming
I get
going
it.
on
There
right
is
now.
a lot of assuming. It's unfair, but I'm not being a journalist right now. I'm being a random sports radio host, just wondering and thinking out loud and just saying what's on my mind. And, like,
Yeah.
I can recognize it's unfair, that I probably have bias here because it's not a coach I'm covering, that I didn't like the responses that both of them had to it when it first came out, and I judged it. Like, I'll be completely honest about my responses. There is bias. It's unfair. It's like borderline unprofessional, but it is where my mind went.
Yeah. Hey, at least you're honest.
You know, look, I'm moving on.
Stacey needs to know, Vrabel. Text her right now.
No, it is not.
Did you really
but
do
here's
it?
the thing. It's not my business. It's not my business if you did it. It's not. And it's not up to him, nor should he tell everyone what he learned. It is just a weird thing where I had a hard time deciphering, just as an NFL fan, how much of what was happening is just the Patriots trying to maneuver this with doing PR, and how much of it is admittedly a very difficult situation for a family to navigate through that I don't envy, and that I sincerely, and this sounds patronizing, but like I pray for anyone in that situation because that's difficult.
It's hard on everybody.
Mm-hmm. What's the longest grudge you've ever held?
I probably got one right now that's lasted like 4 years, maybe.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, between a player's dad that used to coach, and he felt I didn't give his kid enough playing time, and he was mad that I was giving this other kid playing time. Guess where the other kid is? In the NFL. And he's talking about he's just better. He's just better. So he went around town talking about me and all this stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, about 4 years now. 4 to 5.
My longest grudge, this girl I didn't like when I was in elementary school. I had a sleepover at her house, and a bunch of girls were there, and I am a loud talker, but I don't hear very well. I would just like to say that. I cannot hear very well, and so I've always yell-talked. Genuinely. They were like testing me to see if I needed hearing aids when I was younger. And I was at her house, and I was a little kid, and she yelled at me in front of all these other girls and said, "Why do you always yell?" And then she like bullied me out of the room, and I sat in the kitchen, and her mom gave me a popsicle. She invited me because her mom guilted her into it, and she just brought me there to make fun of me.
Wow.
You just heard.
Her name's DJ, and guess what?
Say it with your chest.
And guess what? I still don't like you. I think you're a bully and a mean girl.
What if she changed?
She didn't
What's she
change.
different?
She was mean to everyone forever.
Really?
And I'm sure that there are other things there to like unpack. That's my longest grudge. It goes all the way back to I think that was 4th grade.
That's a good one.
Okay, well, I did not beat this one though. 72-year-old Mets TV analyst Keith Hernandez ripped into his high school football coach from Tuesday's telecast.
Coach Bolinas. I'll never forget him. That idiot. Excuse me?
See, I was waiting for some kind words.
This was his drill. I was quarterback. I'd drop back to pass or sideline. He had the defensive ends coming in on both sides. No one blocking, just coming in. So Buddy Papadakis is on 6'3". He came in and he didn't like me, so he wanted to. And I hit my knuckle on his helmet, and I broke my knuckle.
So it wasn't even a game. It was a practice.
Stupid. You got to block someone.
We're not even talking about a game. We're talking about practice. Jeez. So he was trying to recreate you in the bubble with guys coming at you, and then you'd have to deliver the ball.
Well, Buddy was defensive end. He's just coming in hard.
You got to step up, Keith. You got to step up in the pocket.
It was the stupidest drill. I always thought he was a little bit of a sadist, that Belinas.
Is Coach Belinas still with us?
I have no idea.
It's more than 50 years ago. That was 50 plus years ago. He's saying names.
I like that.
He's saying names. He's like, no, but I'm telling you, it didn't make sense. It was wrong.
Call him out.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know what? We're never right with our grudges, and it's not good to hang on to them, but sometimes you just have them.
Nah, some are good. Some are good.
Yeah. Well, some are funny. Like his grudge against his high school coach isn't hurting anyone.
Nah.
I mostly appreciate that it is, assuming he was 16 or 17. That's like a 55-year-old grudge.
He thinks about that often.
He called him out by name. Is he
Said,
still
"You
alive?"
idiot."
No, he's not still alive. No, he's obviously not still alive. What? He'd be like 100. Oh, God. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners take on the Yankees in Game 2 of their series. Pre-game starts at 3 p.m. First pitch is at 4:05 p.m. Coming up on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. I cannot wait to get to that clip of Mike McDonald. Coming up in 20 minutes.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Earn money while you listen, earn money while you drive, earn money while you sleep. Dave Wyman here, and I know we're all looking for ways to add extra income without adding extra hours to our workday. How about joining a credit union where your money earns money? That's Harborstone Credit Union, founded in 1955 for local, hard-working people. They have a money market special offering strong returns for your hard-earned money. All it takes is a couple clicks of the mouse at harborstone.com/money market to open one. As soon as it's opened, you start earning 3.75 annual percentage yield. The best part, you retain full access to your money the entire time. Harborstone Credit Union is the hard-working credit union built for people like you and me. Get the most out of your money with Harborstone Credit Union. Open a money market account online at harborstone.com/moneymarket. That's harborstone.com/moneymarket. Insured by NCUA.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, August 26th through the 30th. Celebrate local agricultural heritage and get up close with the community's agricultural roots through 4-H and FFA livestock exhibits, still life displays, and educational showcases that highlight the rich farming history of the Kitsap Peninsula. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss it. Get your tickets and info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I felt like I had pins and needles sticking into my feet, like they were on fire. Couldn't figure out what was going on and suffered with it. Very uncomfortable to try to get to sleep. So I started to do some research, and it sounded like it might be peripheral neuropathy. If you have it in your feet, it migrates up towards your knees. So I thought I better take care of this. My primary care physician was only offering me gabapentin. It's a nerve blocker, and it didn't make a difference. Maybe toned it down a little bit, but it was so painful to walk. I called Sound Pain Solutions, and right away I got a good feeling. Had my first appointment. They said, we're going to help you. We're going to get through this. So I said, okay, let's do it.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We use non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers find relief.
My husband and I went on a trip through the Panama Canal, and being able to walk was really delightful.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We were talking about the longest grudge we've ever held, and it stemmed from a story in the timeline where Keith Hernandez ripped into his high school football coach on a Mets TV broadcast. I'm guessing that this was 55 roughly years ago. So I think he had us both beat. Bump, you had a grudge from 4 years ago. You were still hanging on to. I had one from elementary school I was still hanging on to.
I mean, it's a grudge, but it's more like...
It's more like
I told you so.
Yeah.
Like, just listen to your local analyst.
I think this one would drive me crazy. So this listener texts in with their grudge, and they said, I had a buddy of mine that had tickets to go see Prince back in 2012 at the Showbox Soto. He broke up with his girlfriend a few weeks before the show, so offered me the extra ticket, obviously. The night before the show, you can guess where this is going. The night before the show, he tells me he and his girlfriend got back together, and now he's going to take her. Dude's still on my list.
He was ready, man. He had his purple rain shirt on.
Night before.
Hey, but listen.
No, you're going to excuse this behavior.
Nah, what if they got married? What if they got married? What if they are together now and have kids? And it would have never happened if they didn't reconnect.
No.
At the concert.
Then he needs to Goodwill Hunting, and he needs to give his friend his ticket and say, I got to go see about a girl. And he needs to go get back with his girlfriend and go hang out.
What if old boy did something wrong? And he was like, I got to make it up to her. I need her back. This is my true love. A real homie is going to be like, hey, go get your girl, dog. You know what? I'll be at the bar across the street. We can link up afterwards.
I need this texter, Alex.
I know Alex,
in the 14,
too.
But you do?
Uh-huh.
Can Alex, can you please follow up? What are follow-up? Are they married? They did not get married.
They did not get married.
Alex, how long after this Prince show did they break up? Because if they broke up 2 weeks later, I'm livid.
Yeah, then it wasn't worth it.
Livid.
Like, hindsight has to play a big role in this whole thing.
I don't like that. Okay, we need more information from Alex. I'm going to get back to this. I also wanted to get to this story that I didn't have time for in the timeline, but I just think you're gonna have a response to it, and so I want to get to it. Is this an example of maybe a younger generation being just a bit different than what we're used to? This is the age I'm at right now. 19-year-old Michigan quarterback Bryce Underwood says playing Ohio State is just another game.
It's a blessing to be in. Very physical. Like I said, it's all around taxing mentally. Physically, you got to stay strong mentally. You got to stay strong physically. You can't quit, can't give up.
How much different is that game from any other you've played in?
It's just another game, just with guys in a different color. That's how I see it.
It's like, I can't be like mad at him for saying that, but I
mean, you kind of got to think of it that way, but it's just another game. I'm looking at their schedule. Western Michigan, UTEP,
just another game.
Maybe even UCLA.
Just another game.
But Ohio State Michigan is one of the biggest games in football in our country's history. This is one of the biggest games. Coaches get fired for losing this game.
Literally the game.
Yes, it's the game.
It's the game. It's literally the game.
But he has to go into it like that. He has to.
Do you think that is this just a clip that's interesting and we're making something out of absolutely nothing? Or is there a difference in how younger people in a very different college landscape see rivalry? That would be unfathomable to someone who was at either of these schools 20 years ago.
There's, even with all the movement that happens in college football now, there are games that just feel different. The only time the Apple Cup felt like another game, my freshman year before I played in that game. Then I played in the game and go, oh, this is different. You can feel it. But, you have to approach it that way. You can't make it bigger than what it is. We ask the Seahawks about primetime games, about playoff games, and they say, yeah, we go into it thinking it's, we have to treat it as another game, but you definitely feel it when you're in it. Once he's in it, he's going to feel it.
Yeah. And again, it's like, I can't. Sometimes it's like there's no winning no matter what a player says anywhere.
Yeah,
we've been talking about
dissect the heck out of it.
Right, we've been talking about the Cal stuff earlier, and somewhere someone's going like, well, yeah, no, duh, where was this earlier? And someone else is saying like, take more accountability, and someone else loves it. Like, there's no universal winning when you say anything, and that's also the case with this kind of line. There's someone out there going, great, that's how I want him to see it. Don't be intimidated by facing Ohio State. Forget Ohio State. They're not, they're just another game. It's an insult to them. And then there's someone else that thinks, I hate young people and what college football has become. Where are the rivalries? Where's the hate? Where's the passion? Like, I guarantee you someone out there thinks that when they see something like this. And it doesn't just have to be Bryce. It's not just Bryce. But there is, I think, an idea among people that a passion, and that includes hatred, is just gone. And that actually has made college football worse.
I think to some extent it is gone. It is different because they are transferring schools every year. But some games, I don't care if there are 50 new players on that team, the crowd still feels it, and they project that energy onto you. You're going to feel it.
Getting back to the grudge and the text line, the 801 said, well, Prince isn't an artist I'm going to with my buddy. He can take his girl. Fair. Fair. Alex only said they didn't get married, but I want to know, why'd they break up? How much longer after this did they break up? I'm curious about that, because that would the canceling the day before would annoy me. And then Greg in the 253 says, Summer Jam 93. I bought tickets and was taking this girl. I was 19. She was almost 17. Oh.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa. You know how this looks.
I would have just said she was 17.
Her mom realized, we're just kidding, Greg. Her mom realized the concert had moved to the Gorge and not Cheney Stadium. I went by myself, but with a group of friends, and met my wife.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at the universe. It's working for you.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Look at God. He said this friend of mine was actually the lead guitar player for a pretty famous Seattle rock band. This girl he was dating, trust me, wasn't some kind of epic love story.
All right. Well, guess he should have taken you, Alex.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll rule grudge is fair.
Grudge is fair.
Grudge is fair. We've ruled that the grudge is fair, and you can keep hanging on to it.
Hey, you used to watch Judge Judy growing up?
Did I watch Judge
All
Judy
right.
growing up?
I found her. She has her own show now. It's called Judy Justice. They switched it up. Judy Justice.
Stop.
I watched it last night for the first time.
How was it?
It was great.
Is it still like a small claims court
Oh,
situation?
yeah. And she's on their head still at like 80.
I love her. Is it the same bailiff?
No, different dude.
What a dynamic duo they were. Getting into our takeaways from an amazing episode of Hard Knocks next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Jadarian Price here with us. You got your alarm set for Hard Knocks tonight?
I probably won't watch the Hard Knocks until camp is over.
Your phone's going to be blowing up tonight.
I was on the phone with my mom last night, and I did not mention that Hard Knocks is coming out, but it's a big message to everyone out there that we heard earlier this week in a team meeting. Like, call your parents, don't text. They want to hear your voice and how things are going.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with the warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. You're a jeweler for life.
Seattle baseball is heating up, and so is summertime. Dave Wyman for Fast Home Services. Their HVAC department has you covered. While others book out for weeks, Fast Heating and Air is just that, fast. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to request your next day consultation for AC, heat pumps, or other cooling services. Same week install available for a limited time. Or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this late night ad to make you more alert, which could help your driving. And science tells us that pulsing beats faster, stimulating audio like traveling sound, and voices on the higher,
so-called brighter end of the audio spectrum like this can encourage focus.
Also, a familiar tune can help, so...
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated insulation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the geeks to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The
best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Tua Tagovailoa hasn't been named the Falcons' Week 1 starter yet, but it's certainly trending in that direction because he will be starting for Atlanta in their preseason opener against the Broncos Friday night. That was announced a little earlier this afternoon. The Mariners look to even up their series against the Yankees today with Game 2 of a 3-game set. This one at 4:05 p.m., 3 p.m. pregame show. Bryce Miller gets the start for Seattle opposite righty Will Warren.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Okay, so I don't know that the second episode of Hard Knocks was like the most groundbreaking thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's such a negative way to start this. But when Pat McAfee came out and said it was one of the, I was like, what's going to happen here? Oh my God.
It was fire, though.
However,
it was fire.
It was absolutely incredible to see. And it was led from one of the best scene of the season so far. I know we're 2 episodes in, but this from Mike McDonald.
Derek, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you bull rushing right now near the quarterback?
I'm not trying to hump. I can't see behind me.
You can't be trying to hump right now. This isn't the time for it. The quarterback is, you almost decleated the guy into the quarterback's knees. Come on, man. You're smarter than that. Damn it, Derek.
That away, good timing. That away, Sam. How when I ran clear the bad?
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
What do you want me to do?
Get him out.
Damn, oh my gosh. What the
Hey, you can complain all you want. You can complain all the you want. You're too close. That's twice.
Get him.
It's not smart. You can all you want. But it turns out I'm running the practice.
Woo! He hit him with the last time I checked.
And then after that, he walks further down. And this is strategery right here as a coach. He walks further down and yells one more time, stay off the quarterback. He's talking to everybody now. He's looking that way, but let me get over here so everybody knows this is stay off the dang quarterback. You don't get nowhere near that dang quarterback, okay? Especially the way Sam is spinning it. It's over 600 revolutions when he spins the ball. Learn that. Learn that from the show.
Went on a little too long.
No, I love that.
Really?
The slow motion of the football in the air, I was locked in.
Cool.
I was locked in. Like, that is beautiful. That ball has no wobble to it. None.
No wobble at all.
Tight.
I was more intrigued by the mic. This interaction right here, this was my single favorite part of the episode.
And they were so smart to open up the whole show with that. It's like, here, we'll get to this later, but here's Mike going crazy. I loved it.
Are you surprised that it came out? Because, again, this has to kind of go through a filter for the Seahawks. Like, they do get a say, as every team does. It's not unique to Seattle, but, like, you do get a say in, like, ooh, do we want to let that out there? And, you know, should we say this part of what we're doing here? And does this give us a competitive disadvantage? And is this horrible PR? Like, I thought this was a pretty I mean, the stuff that they've allowed through 2 episodes is not like the most perfect picture of everything. They show conflict and they show that kind of stuff.
It's real, though.
Yeah.
That happens in practice all the time. It happens. It's real. And I appreciate the Hawks approving this so we can see it. All the coaches across the land saw this, and got hyped. I loved it.
Someone said, Bump was like, dang, I wish I could catch that type of ball.
Hey, what?
You immediately, like, just putting your hands up.
Right, just put my hands to the TV. Diamond.
No, I love that moment with Mike McDonald. And I thought it was also important because if you're Derek Hall, you're watching too, right? And you're like, oh, I got to think about how I'm being portrayed. I would care about it. But I thought that there was enough balance in the episode, especially in Mike McDonald's confessional moments, where he clearly talks about how valuable Derek is. When he says, look, we want our players to kind of live near the edge, and we have some, right up to the line, and we do have some habitual line steppers, but that's kind of what makes them great. I think that's probably a constant for a lot of players, is just reeling that in and practicing it.
Guarantee you, Coach would rather be trying to pull D Hall back than get him going.
Yep.
He's going to appreciate that on, what was the first game? September what?
9.
9? September 9. It's going to be real.
Yeah, if you're trying to get someone going, you're just asking them to be someone they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You can rein, that's a good point. Like, you can rein someone back and be like, hey, I'm going to sit down.
Yeah.
You're messing things up right now.
If you're saying, come on, guys, we need more. Nah.
Can't have that. Another moment was Frisman Jackson talking about JSN being coachable.
Jax, man, he just a fun dude to coach, man. Like, you wouldn't know that he's gotten the things he's gotten just the way he acts and goes about his business. He's the only, like, number one wideout I've been around where, like, you can challenge him and he ain't taking it personal. Like, the first time I met him, he was like, Coach, I want you to challenge me. Like, challenge me. I want to get coached. I want to get challenged. I was like, all right, I can do that, man.
And I love this juxtaposition of then JSN and Frisman Jackson talking.
All right, I'm telling you his box rules.
Too high, you're going to get safety.
Push crack to the safety.
That's what I'm thinking.
Not just go get him, because I don't want
Push crack, exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Push crack to the safety.
Yeah.
So why is this right here?
Well, erase it and go put it somewhere else then. Go get a green marker.
What? It says structure. But now I got to erase it in my head that I've been doing it for 3 years. And I did it right. That's the thing. I did, how you gonna say something to me when I did it right?
I wasn't critiquing. I didn't say you did it wrong. All I was doing was giving you a reminder, hey, if that safety D, stay on the corner. All you had to do was like, I got you. And that would have been the end of it. But you on a rage bait today. You want a rage bait.
Now, it doesn't go against what Jackson said about JSN being coachable, but I liked watching it in action. He jokes at the end of that scene, like, they just probably caught me on camera talking about how coachable you are, and here we are fighting or whatever. And JSN's like, we always fight.
That's coaching.
Great scene.
That's
Great
beautiful.
scene.
That's coaching moment. He's talking about, push crack.
Yeah, tell us.
He's talking about you push when in run game, you have a run to your side. You push towards the corner, like you run towards the corner like you run in a route. And if you got a too high safety, you snap it off and you crack the safety. What coach is saying is like, look, if that safety just continues to get deep, there's no reason to go block him. Just keep pushing the corner down the field until he reacts, and then you block him. And
what is JSN saying?
JSN is pretty much saying, goes, no, I did it right. He goes, coach is like, no, I'm just giving you a reminder.
Yeah.
But JSN, in his mind, he's like, if I did it right, don't put anything on the board reminding me.
Yeah.
Because I did it right. So, no, it was that was a great conversation. I love the back and forth. And that is something that you only do with your number one receiver.
Do you think that Jackson's right and that there aren't a ton of number one receivers with that kind of cachet that respond in that way?
Who's the last number one receiver he dealt with? DK Metcalf. He ain't having that conversation with DK Metcalf. He ain't. The coaching was different with DK Metcalf. So this has to be so refreshing for him to deal with the number one who still wants to get better and be pushed.
You mentioned really loving this moment. It was defensive line coach Justin Hines speaking in front of the team with some Bible talk.
It's Ecclesiastes 2. Okay? It says, in the beginning, the Hawks' offense and defensive special teams were created, and all were bonded by violence. Yes, Lord. These groups will work together and have dominion over their enemies. They shall be called the mob. So we're going to get a little interactive today, okay? So we know in church they say, right, mob is good. Y'all going to say, all the time. And I say all the time. All the time. Right, we're going to start from the top, okay? We're going to start from the top. I said the mob is good. All the time. All the time. The mob is good.
What did you think of that scene?
Loved it. Let your coaches shine. And then I like when they zoom in on the players. You see that they're loving it.
They're laughing.
They're locked in. They're laughing. They're bought into it. Those are the little things that I think football has over other sports, is that there's so much teaching that's involved that you can have more moments like that. There's so many coaches that Mike McDonald doesn't have to stand up there and come up with all these things. He goes, look, I'm going to let one of my 15 coaches speak to this team every day at training camp so they get a different message. The same message, but it's a different delivery. And, yeah, I love it.
Let's get to some of the Terrion Arnold stuff. This was Ad and Dirty chatting with Mike McDonald to see how legit it was.
What about that guy? Is there anything on that guy in Detroit that won the cut?
You know, John's looking into it. You know,
he's going spy mode.
Yeah.
And this was John Schneider explaining why he's looking into it.
We have 90 players here right now. We're always kind of looking for what's next. How do we get ready for, you know, a corner that's not here yet? You know, like guys that we're going to need at a certain point. You want to be strong and as healthy as possible in December, January.
And lastly, John talking with Jalen Milroe, who was teammates with Terrion Arnold in Alabama.
Last time I was talking about Terry, and I talked to Jalen about him.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
He was awesome. He's got a buddy, high school buddy. He's like, this place would be awesome for him. Just had a baby. His wife would move up here, move up here with him. Yeah, awesome. It's just like Spoon. Joey thinks he is going to be able to play in the preseason. Sweet. Yeah.
I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I didn't get the sense in a tiny, tiny clip from Mike McDonald that Mike McDonald was particularly excited about this signing or all in on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was just the tiniest clip, so who knows?
Yeah.
I didn't get that vibe. But it was interesting to hear some stuff from Schneider.
Maybe he's just not going to rely on it.
Yeah.
I got to focus on my guys who are here. If it works out, then okay, we'll welcome them in. But Mike's like, all right, we got to get Julian, make sure he's healthy. Nick Murray's out there. We got Dansby doing things. We got Fuller out there. Yeah. If it becomes real, I think the tone might be different.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird watching Arnold try to dap up Mike McDonald after his practice was over. And, like, Arnold went in for a hug, but McDonald kind of, like, pulled away a little bit. He's kind of like, I mean, I'm not going to give somebody a hug that's here for a workout.
And I get having that feeling as a head coach because he and Schneider are going to have fundamentally different goals here. Schneider's job is to uncover talent, especially like cost-effective talent, wherever he possibly can to give his team an edge. Mike McDonald's job is to get the most out of the talent he has here and to make sure that those guys get along and play for each other. Like, you have to be wary of, like, I'm going to just treat you differently than John Schneider is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, John will go in for a hug all day.
Yeah, you got to earn it with me. I'm your coach.
Yeah, Mike is like, I don't even know if you're going to be here. But if you do come here, then you'll be one of us and we'll embrace you.
All right, let's get to some of the funny stuff from the episode. First, Leonard Williams explaining shadowboxing.
I mean, first of all, we think that shadowboxing is really a part of what got our team so close last year.
I'm thinking about the shadowboxing the other day.
Just because you walk in that locker room, you walk in the team meeting room, or anywhere in the building, honestly. Everywhere, like, there's smoke everywhere. You'll see running backs, like, shadowboxing with D linemen. You'll see O linemen with, like, the corners. So it's like you're seeing people who wouldn't normally sit down and talk together because, you know, we're kind of separate in the building most of the time. You see those type of people, like, kind of meshing together more just because of shadowboxing.
That's something they said multiple times last season was actually an incredible part of their team bonding. Even though it sounds kind of silly, it really meant a lot to the team. They did a ton of it. You saw it on camera. Byron Murphy and Mike McDonald talking about it.
I'm trying to get you to go in a direction, but you trying to dodge the direction I'm trying to get you to go in.
I'm going to point in one direction, and at the same exact time, you have to choose, you know, north, south, east, or west at the same exact time. So you have 4 directions to choose from. And you're just trying to, like, guess that the person's not going that way. Or if you're on offense, you're guessing that the person is going that way.
You're trying to get 3 in a row. Is how I think about it.
He described it as rock, paper, scissors on steroids, which I think that is what it is.
I've tried to do this with my sons, and they didn't explain it to me.
Oh,
and
so
I
they
didn't
cheated.
get it. Now I get it.
You should rematch.
Now I get it. I'm like, okay, I get it. Because after I'm like, I used to just make one move. I'm like, that's it, right? He goes, no, now two. I don't have to do the same move and then another one,
Yeah.
and third one, bam. So yeah, I'm locked in now.
I was very confused about how exactly this worked. I thought it was fake fighting, right? We sound so old, but
Shadow boxing, yeah. I
yeah,
get
but
that.
now I get what it is. And what I most love about that clip is Byron Murphy saying, "Well, when you're on offense." Shadow boxing.
And there's a style to do it too. Like
Yes.
everyone has their own little flavor to it. I like it.
And then last one here, Ernest Jones talking about those wildfires.
Hey, D, whoever set that fire, we're going to kick his
I hear that
All day.
all day.
And it is behind should be kicked.
Yeah, you can't set a fire, man.
No.
And it
Especially
sounds
not
like you're
summertime.
very much a criminal. I know that's not really what we're talking about
He
here.
got a history.
He got a history.
Uh-huh.
So there's some stuff there. Great episode overall. I think a 10 out of 10 start to the season. This has been one of the better seasons of Hard Knocks.
I'm locked in. How many episodes do we get?
Usually it's 8.
5.
Oh, 5. I thought it was a little bit more.
All right.
No, it wraps up at the end of preseason.
Save every moment.
Yeah. So 3 more.
And guess who got on Hard Knocks first?
That's right.
This guy.
You were.
It might have been blurry. If you blink,
But
you
it was
missed
him.
it.
It was him.
But I was on that thing.
Are we
Unmistakably.
I don't know that. I think it is mistakeably. I think it's possible.
Nah, says
I
the
think
person who was not in the shot.
I think it's possible that it
No.
wasn't Michael Bumpus.
It was definitely me.
I think it could have been anyone. And
If
we're
you continue to watch that shot, the Seattle sports tent becomes more in focus.
And that
then
could
it's
be-
like, oh, it's unmistakably Michael Bumpus.
I don't know.
You want to
that-
know how I know it's unmistakably Michael Bumpus?
It could be
'Cause
anyone.
There's only one person on the station that looks like him.
You said there's one black guy here. It's
Just
Michael
one,
Bumpus.
baby.
Yeah.
I just need
It's
to try
okay.
harder.
You know what? I'll introduce you to the Hard Knocks producers.
Wow,
We'll go out
that's
there.
insane. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
I can introduce myself to them.
You won't. You'll make it awkward.
I'm not going to make it awkward.
I'll calm you down.
No,
your,
no, no, no.
Your voice will get all high.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not going to make it awkward. I'm just going to be super normal. I'm going to say hi.
What's going to happen is the Hard Knocks trailers are set up in between that trail and the parking lot at the VMAC. So he's just going, bah, 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 bah. Hi, I just think it's funny that my cohort, Michael Bumpus, was featured.
And do you guys have, is there like a manager in charge
Is
of
there a
what's going on
manager?
here
Perfect.
that I could maybe talk to?
Headline number 1, a year after selling for $10 billion, Lakers are sold again to a group led by Disney CEO Bob Iger for $12 billion. What's the real headline?
On what I'm sure is an unrelated note, former Lakers owner Mark Walter is under investigation for tax fraud. Unrelated stories. I'm just kind of throwing that in there. Totally not connected.
Coincidence.
It's a pure coincidence. Not connected in any way. Not weird at all that an NBA team is sold a year after it was purchased and that person's under investigation. These are just unrelated things.
Surprising. Sounds like clean business to me. Get your $2 billion and move out of there.
It's a house flip.
Flip that. No, this is it's surprising. There's a lot of stuff going on with this though. Stuff that the news side will probably dive deeper into. But yeah, I was not expecting this. And again, my mother, Renee Bumpus, broke this news to me. And I'm saying a sincere thank you, Mom. I'm driving in. She goes, our Lakers being sold again. I couldn't really look at it till I parked. I'm like, you is right, Mama. You is right.
Yeah, this is not only like above my pay grade, I think it's above my understanding of what's really going on here, but there's definitely shadiness afoot. And I think a Pablo Torre type needs to get after this and figure out like what exactly is going on here.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, frankly. But I think billionaires are just on a playing field that we don't understand too. As part of it.
We'll never understand.
No. I mean, you never know.
Headline
I could become a
rewrites.
billionaire. It's not too late.
If you become a billionaire, then I'm automatically a millionaire because you giving me some.
I think, yeah, I would definitely give you guys something.
A milli?
Mm.
That's nothing.
You wouldn't even feel that.
I think 20,000 is a lot of money.
Wow.
I would love 20,000 from someone. 20,000, but I have to give it to each of you. That's $40,000 out of my
See,
pocket.
the thing is, if Bump or I were to become billionaires, Stacey would be like, so I get $400 million, right?
I I mean, we can bump it up. We'll do 50,000.
50,000.
50,000.
Just buy me a house.
Okay.
Headline number 2, the Mariners try to put an end to their 5-game losing streak tonight against the Yankees. What's the real headline?
Hey, we're losing here.
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
If this was Tuesday, you would not be saying that.
What do you mean?
If it was Tuesday, you wouldn't be saying that. We're nice on Tuesdays.
Oh.
The
dugout, yeah.
No, I would not be saying that.
The setup has to be right, but it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I'm
we
with you.
could be a little tougher.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
No chance.
Well, I think there's a chance.
Nah, they're losing tonight.
I think the most frustrating thing, well, there's a lot of frustrating things about this team. There haven't been sparks with this team. Like, I've watched Mariners teams where it feels like they're out of it, but you're like, they're kind of heating up. There's been zero sign.
Nothing.
Zero indication that they will heat up.
Nah.
I've not seen a single, the last time that I thought, well, maybe is a loss to the Rays where they got like 8 or 9 hits or 7, 8, 9 hits. I can't quite remember. And I thought, well, they got good contact. It just didn't work out their way. Close scoring game. You lost it late. And that's the last time where I thought, well, that was encouraging. That was it.
Last time I thought, all right, they got it. Was that 7-8 game win streak?
Oh, so months ago?
Yeah.
Do you
that would have been in May.
Yeah. And I've seen so many people say, well, maybe you try not only like bench count, but I've seen people going, well, if they won 8 games, like what if it's like a rearranging of things? And I just think that that's hard for a team to justify when you're paying someone that much money and when they have that much work with the pitching staff. And pitching has to be your strength right now. I think it's just difficult to navigate. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes hot streaks just happen, and sometimes they happen out of nowhere. But there's usually something there that you can believe in. And like I've seen nothing from Cal to think he's going to get better.
Yeah.
I've seen nothing from anyone to think that they're totally in this. The body language there looks like a team that's just depressed and devastated by this.
They have to be real special. You never know. They could be special and go on a run. We've seen it, but man, the deeper you get into this, the more doubtful.
I mean, you still have a 28%. You have a 1 in 3 chance to win the AL West. You have a tiebreaker over the Astros.
Yeah, it's still there.
That's insane to me.
It's still there.
Yeah. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Bears safety Kobe Bryant will miss 4 to 6 months after undergoing knee surgery. What's the real headline?
This could also be bad news for the Seahawks. There's some stuff here at work with like maybe how a comp pick and the points for that work, which like I don't totally understand. But Nick Corti says the Seahawks could see one of their projected 5th round 2027 comp picks get demoted to 6th. So it's not like it goes away. But if he misses the season, then one of your comp picks gets a little lower. You still get it because he's still got a contract. It's still a free agent that moved on, but that it's like lesser.
Yeah, I just feel bad for Kobe.
It matters more for Kobe.
Yeah.
Significantly more for Kobe.
He's paid, ready to go over there and prove his worth. And I'm sure they were excited about Kobe. He brings the energy to the game. And this happens. But this is football. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when you get injured in this game.
Yeah. It's just such a bummer. It sounded initially like he'd miss maybe a month of the regular season. A 5-month timeline, which is in the middle of this timeline, that's assuming it doesn't go to 6 months, puts him at a return January 11th in time for like maybe the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, depending on where they are. It's just devastating because you heard nothing but good things prior to this injury. And he is one of the most underrated DBs, one of the players that you pointed to a ton when people are like, oh, you lost Rick Mullen, you lost everyone. And you were like, honestly, Kobe Bryant is something you're going to feel more than anything. You got to find a way to navigate that. And so really disappointing for him, for sure. All right, still to come. Speaking of the Seahawks, we're going to take a look back at what we learned from Hard Knocks with Seattle Times Seahawks reporter Bob Condotta. Ask him a bit, too, about what we're watching for in the first preseason game, which is coming up on Saturday. I keep saying that like, oh, my God, preseason's already here, but it kind of feels more real week 1, I'm going to be honest.
Let's go.
However, Bump, you got a big role in this preseason game.
Yeah.
Are you going to remind the people what's
Second
happening?
quarter, doing my best. Steve Rabel, they're going to let your boy be the play-by-play. So
What if
let's
just
get it.
crazy stuff happens?
I hope it does. I hope it is the wildest second quarter we've ever seen.
I want that more than anything. I want like a million touchdowns,
You want it to be like the Hall of
interceptions.
Fame game, the best preseason game that we've seen.
Oh, you keep bringing this up.
Hall of Fame game.
You keep bringing it up. It's the best game you've ever seen in your life. It's unprompted, which is wicked. You're going to be mentioning the Hall of Fame game in week 6. You're going to go.
It wasn't a Hall of Fame game.
It wasn't a Hall of Fame game,
No.
but it was a 6-3 win, and we just have to accept it. Taking a look around the NFL next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond, and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
We're all looking for ways to add extra income without adding extra hours. How about joining a credit union where your money earns money? Dave Wyman for Harborstone Credit Union. They have a money market special offering strong returns for your hard-earned money. Open yours at harborstone.com/moneymarket and start earning 3.75 annual percentage yield. The best part is you retain full access to your money the entire time. That's harborstone.com, insured by NCUA.
It's Olympic Hot Tub's 49th birthday, and you get the gifts. Big savings on saltwater hot spring spas, plus free Bluetooth music and interest-free financing for 3 years. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Looking to add some excitement to your next night out? Then come roll the dice. Join us Sunday to Thursday after 8 p.m. at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar as Chef John Howie turns your dinner into an exciting game of chance. Enjoy fresh seafood, premier sushi, great steaks, and so much more. At the end of your meal, you roll the dice. You roll a 6, your entire food tab is free. Yes, 100% free. Will fortune favor you tonight? Gather your friends and go roll the dice. Book your table now at SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Rev up your summer at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Explore the new British Bike Exhibition, professional level race simulators, and mark your calendar for Tacoma Cars and Coffee or family drive-in movie nights. Plan your visit now at americascarmuseum.org.
If you have unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-224-4083. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-224-4083. 800-224-4083. That's 800-224-4083.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's 2 things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we're going to start in Minnesota. The Vikings made their starting quarterback decision. It's Kyler Murray. Kevin O'Connell, we finally get to hear this response, explained the decision to go with Murray over J.J. McCarthy.
There's moments in time where there's comfort from Kyler in the scheme. He had some really high completion days where he was able to show some really, really good understanding of just putting the ball in play, playing with great timing, rhythm. You guys have seen him be explosive when there's opportunities there, but you've also seen him check the ball down and put the ball in play and get us from a 1st and 10 to a 2nd and 3. And then, as you continue to look at the body of work through those 10 days, what jumped out is what could be.
Why do you think they chose Kyler Murray over J.J. McCarthy?
He's just better. I mean, Kyler Murray, I heard this, I forgot where I heard it. Maybe I heard it on Get Up. I forgot who said it. It was 100% correct. Kyler Murray didn't leave Arizona. Arizona didn't cut him because he couldn't play ball. It was because, his leadership. It was because his work ethic, right? He had times and stretches where he looked like a top 10 quarterback in this game. JJ had one of those moments. Granted, his career is a lot shorter. He hasn't had the opportunity to do what Kyler Murray has done. But when they signed Kyler Murray, it was his job to lose. I understand they're going to dress it up and say it's a competition. But what are you going to go with? A guy who's played in a bunch of games who has shown nothing, or a guy who has played in the league 7 years who has shown that he can be a Pro Bowl type of quarterback at times? He's not perfect, but you got to go with the veteran. The Vikings have a team that's built to win right now.
Yep.
They're not built to win 5 years from now. You don't have time to wait on J.J. McCarthy. Yep. Dudes get fired because you're waiting on a quarterback. So, yeah, it was always Kyler.
Now, there was incentive to wait on J.J. McCarthy or to try to do everything they could to figure it out because he's a first-round, a top 10 pick for them. So you also have to ask, well, what's next then? This is your highest draft pick that year.
He's still a guy that's only played 10 games. He's shown improvement off of last year. Even in this training camp with the work he's put in and his comfort level just growing a little bit day in and day out. I'm still very excited to continue to, get to work with him every single day, coach him. And I truly, as he knows, he's holding the pen on his story, and we're going to support him and try to just help him continue to improve as a young player at the most difficult position in sports. And, he's got to also understand this isn't just a long-term mindset, which we want to have always for a player his caliber and a young player like him, but it could be an immediate response needed. And, JJ's the kind of guy that'll be ready to rock and roll. I know that.
So it's like, what's next for JJ? He's our backup. Kyler might get hurt. We don't know what's going to happen this year. That's what he's saying, right?
Exactly. He's like, man, we got to make sure that we're okay if something were to happen. And the thing about the Vikings, what was it, a couple years ago? Sam Darnold was obviously their quarterback, and I want to say Daniel Jones was over there too.
Yes.
And they let both those guys go. Daniel was balling with the Colts before he gets banged up. Sam just wins a Super Bowl. They have to get this right.
Mm-hmm. How will the Browns divvy up their starting quarterback reps in their preseason opener? Head coach Todd Monken says we'll see both Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders this weekend.
We're going to see both of them. I mean, one's going to start this week, and one's going to start next week, right? And we're going to play about similar. I'd like to see a quarterback play a half and get a 2-minute. We're going to do everything we can to try and get a 2-minute, right? Simulate that for the half, and we're going to try to do the exact same thing the next week.
Why one for Chicago, the other for Chicago? I mean, which one?
You have to pick.
I know.
I mean, somewhere along I got to pick somebody. Yeah. So I have my reasons. I have my reasons of how it's going to go, and it's still a competition. We're still excited to watch guys practice today, let alone, on Saturday and then next week against Buffalo.
Who do you think wins that job?
Not
having Bennett Brown's practice, obviously.
I think when they're playing their best, Deshaun is probably the better quarterback, but he hasn't played well in, 3 years?
Since being with Houston.
And they're paying him $200+ million guaranteed. That I'm good to go, but perfect scenario for the Seahawks. You got a dude who's going to be worth a lot of money real soon, but he's so committed to his team and his teammates that he's going to go out there and still risk it.
And very related to this contract is the contract that's being worked out via the same agent and agency for Christian Gonzalez. He's waiting to get paid. ESPN Pats reporter Mike Reese is wondering if Gonzalez is going to start holding in.
He didn't participate, and he had fallen hard in the practice on Monday in a end zone coverage against Romeo Dobbs. And so it's hard to know if Christian Gonzalez didn't participate because of maybe, landing on his ankle and coming up a little gimpy, or the contract. And I'm still trying to get more information as to why Gonzalez wasn't out there. Up to this point, I will tell you, the fact that he has been a full participant and, in my view, their best player throughout training camp, if it was the contract, why he wasn't out there, that would be a sharp change in direction for him in terms of approach this training camp.
Now, if his agency is trying to get his deal done before Spoon, him having essentially a holdout, but a hold in, I feel like doesn't bode well for that deal for Witherspoon getting done soon, but I can't tell which is going to come first.
All right, first I had to make sure my man Mike wasn't from Canada. He kept saying out. But two, I think it was both. I think he tweaked his ankle and was injured and was like, nah, I really ain't going out there now. I'm going to mess up my money. I think it could be both.
Yeah. Who do you think's a better corner? That's a tough question. Very tough.
Man,
good in different ways.
They are good in different ways, but Gonzalez just has size. range. Arms are long. Was he about 6'1", 6'2"?
I mean, I'm asking because I want to know who might get paid more.
I mean, for this defense, Spoon does what he's supposed to do. For that defense, Gonzalez does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's a hard choose.
Next up, Matt Hasselbeck is joining Boston University researchers to help diagnose people with CTE while they're still living. Obviously, CTE is only diagnosed post-mortem. Boston College is at the forefront of this and has been at the forefront of this research for years and years and years. So they're kind of like the main center for this. And also a former Seahawk trying to get in on that quest and figure out how they can aid people with CTE, and that includes a number of former football players, while they can still get that help.
Yeah, that's 99% of people who play football are going to get some form of CTE. It's about the severity. So that's cool that Matt Hasselbeck obviously went to Boston College, right? Yeah, he went to Boston College, and it's helping out because honestly, he's probably got some CTE too. You know, it helps his own lifestyle. But this is important. We need to know as much as we can about this because a lot of us have it.
I do wonder, so CTE is a buildup of certain proteins in the brain, and those proteins are built up by repeated head trauma, which is like the most butchered way to explain it, but that's kind of what it is. You get these proteins built up in your brain. So the reason that they diagnose it post-mortem is, we can autopsy. We can see the brain. I wonder how you diagnose when it's something in, literally a protein in your brain matter. I don't know that that's a blood test. I don't know that I mean, that's such a difficult thing because I think there are a lot of people going, why can't they do it? I don't understand. And it's like, they right now the only way to see it is literally to cut open your head.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They'll get there.
I hope they do.
They'll figure it out.
I really do. All right. Still to come, Talking Seahawks with Bob Condotta. He joins us at 1. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up at 1:45, 866-979-3776. Coming up next, we know that players and the manager are a problem this year for the Mariners. It's very obvious. But what role does Mariners brass have in a wildly disappointing season? That's next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Drew Darling Price here with us. You got your alarm set for Hard Knocks tonight?
I probably won't watch the Hard Knocks until camp is over.
Your phone's going to be blowing up tonight.
I was on the phone with my mom last night, and I did not mention that Hard Knocks is coming out, but it's a big message to everyone out there that we heard earlier this week in a team meeting. Call your parents, don't text. They want to hear your voice and how things are going.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Klein Jewelers is all about celebrating big anniversaries. What's a big anniversary? Year 1, year 5, year 25. If you forgot about it, you'll find out just how big it is. No matter the year, Klein Jewelers is here to help you celebrate with something beautiful. Maybe it's a 3-stone ring that honors your past, present, and future. Maybe it's a new band to stack or the diamond upgrade you've been dreaming about. And while we love anniversaries, we're here for all life's special moments too. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
My goal is what's best for the customer. I truly believe that I won't ever deviate from that.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long. I didn't want to have to be in the sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Tell you something kind of depressing. Now, I could just say the Mariners, and like we'd all agree. But let's think back. When do we remember complaining a lot about this team's injuries? Maybe just before Cal went on the IL or like a rest. Let's say May. Let's say around May. And I know that they had a winning streak in there, but like there was a time when we were like, man, everyone's banged up. No one can get healthy heading into June. If I read you this lineup then, you'd be like, oh, they're good. Oh, thank God. Just in time. Ward, who obviously wasn't on the team then, but he's your DH today. Young, Arozarena, Canzone, Rodriguez, Naylor, Donovan, Raleigh, Emerson. That's the lineup. That's the lineup.
Looks good on paper.
Everyone was hoping to see.
Mm-hmm.
When we were like, they never get everyone fully healthy at the same time. I know not everyone's 100% healthy, but like that's the lineup. This is what they envisioned. Again, minus Ward because you didn't have Ward, but this is what they envisioned would help lead them to a World Series. That's your lineup today. Does anyone feel good or optimistic about this series against the Yankees, Bump?
No.
About this road trip at all, Bump?
No.
About what they can do the rest of the season, Bump?
No.
Why?
Because
you see nothing.
Cal.
Yep.
Naylor.
Yep.
Rodriguez.
Exactly. Because proceeds to read the lineup.
Because these guys
minus Rosarena.
Yeah, minus Rosarena.
Minus Young.
Canzone too.
Mm-hmm.
No, because of the big three. We thought were the big three. Just aren't getting it done, man. That's why. And Emerson has had some flashes, right? But he's come back down to reality. Low key, I didn't realize he's hit 8 bombs already. That's crazy. His average is down, but the bombs are up for as many at bats he's had, 42 at bats. But no, it's just because of performance. It's not because of who they are the majority of the time. It's because of who they've been this year, and it hasn't been connected. Right, when's the last time you saw just Young get on base? Well, Young and Rosarena, they've been vibing together.
Last night,
they've been vibing.
but yeah.
They've been vibing. But, just hits being connected or
I agree.
a bomb in double in 2 straight innings or something.
Good
They're
offense.
just not putting it all together. That's why I believe in them. I don't think this is going to be who they are for the rest of their career, but just for this year, it just hasn't been clicking.
The offense has been so bad that I can remember specific games. The game you had against the Blue Jays on the 4th of July, a game against the Reds with Cal's grand slam, where you're like, oh, it feels like they kind of tapped into something and not tapped into it and figured it out, but like that was a good game for them.
Mm-hmm.
There are specific games I can remember. That's a problem, because if I think of last year where I'm like, what was the, what were specific games? Like, you have memories of like Cal's 60th or, just like really cool moments. Leo Rivas doing some crazy, Miles Mastrobuoni making a really cool catch. Like, just random moments come back, but there's a lot of them. Maybe a handful this year. The question I wanted to ask ourselves and listeners, we have spent most of the day, in fact, most of the week, most of the last several weeks, talking about how players are accountable here. And player execution is a big part of the problem. And there's no escaping accountability there. It just is. How Dan's management, whether it's his managing style, a lack of tough leadership, bullpen decisions, has been a problem. We've kind of stayed away overall from Mariners brass and decision makers and Jerry and Justin, because mostly that's a conversation we have in the off season, right? Maybe at trade deadline, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so weird because I'm so used to Mariner seasons focusing on them. So I find this to be one of the most fascinating conversation to me this year is what happened with Cal Raleigh. The second most fascinating conversation is, the second would be what happened to this team as a whole. And then the third most fascinating conversation is, and what do the decision makers at the top have to do with this? What's the big picture thing? Did they do enough? Did they not? What was their role here?
How hyped were we when they re-signed Josh Naylor?
So hyped.
So the city was so hyped that they turned Lumen into JN with the lights on top of Lumen. You know what I mean? We were hyped. Like, let's go. How excited were we when they got Donovan? Perfect. Move him around, third, shortstop, second, even outfield if that's what you want to do. Contact guy. We were excited about it, right? Trade deadline. How optimistic were we when they got Ward?
Tried to be.
Optimistic. Like, okay, cool. This is the type of guy that they need. Lost some power, got some contact, good to go. We love Julio. We thought Cal would have some regression, not like this. Dom Canzone has stepped up with his power. Cole Young has stepped up with his power. And Rosarena is the best bat on the team right now. How excited were we when we heard Colt Emerson might get called up?
Excited.
JP got hurt. Oh, all right, cool. We're going to start him off at third. JP's hurt. Let's move him to safety. Shortstop. I saw the SS in my mind. Shortstop. And the future is here. We got the future at shortstop, the future at second base, one of the best catchers in the game, one of the best center fielders in the game. We can sprinkle in some Robles in left field. Dom has stepped up. So what can we say about what they've done? To me, they put together a good team, a team that should be good. So I look upstairs and say, look, y'all, you did what you could, I think. I think you did what you could with what you're allowed to do with your means, because we know they're not going to go out there and be big spenders. So I'm looking at the text lines and people are hot. The Poto, damn. Don't forget how you felt when we got all those, when Ward came up, when Emerson, when you signed Josh. We were excited about this team. And I think we have reason to be excited about this team. So it's hard for me just to look upstairs to Jerry and Justin and say, y'all didn't do enough. Yeah. No, I'm looking more at Dan and the rest of the game. Dan, switch up the way your style is, and players, go out there and do what you're being paid to do, because everyone in this city, 80% of us thought this team was going to win this division and make a run at the World Series.
I think 3 things are true. First of all, agree with you. I think 3 things are true. Number 1, Mariners decision makers put together one of the more talented rosters we'd seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen this take before from some people where they go, they were never even that good. Well, no one expected them to be the best offense in baseball, but there was a track record for a number of players here, and many experts in and around baseball took a look at this roster, at their track record, at that division, and said, you should be good.
Yes.
They were wrong. That happens. It doesn't make the underlying assumption wrong. The underlying assumption was based on baseball reason, baseball history, and baseball logic. It wasn't based on vibes. So credit to them for that. The second thing that's true is Mariners decision makers hired Dan. And I think a lot of people that have an issue with Dan ultimately go, well, who didn't do a search for another manager and immediately made your interim guy the main person, and you put someone who's beloved by these guys, but had never been a manager in charge of a team that was supposed to be in a World Series? Dan didn't hire himself, right? That's part of some people's argument.
Application.
And then the third thing I think is true and will always be true is I do think they should spend more. And so that will always be something that's in the back of my mind where it's like, Cal had a horrible season. No one could have seen this coming. It is historic in the drop-off that he's had. Did your roster lean too much on 1 or 2 guys? Did you balance out the roster? Would spending a little bit more have given you a little bit of wiggle room?
Who has control of that?
Not Dan, or not Jerry and Justin, which is fair.
Not them.
It's an ownership question.
I think I like your point is their potentially bad hire could be Dan, but the team they put together should be better than this.
A lot of people pointing out Rays and Brewers, better teams with less money. Totally true. Completely true. Yeah. I think there's real self-reflection that could be done in how they evaluate like free agent additions, which they've struck out multiple times. But there are things that I do want to credit them with, and one of them is that I felt very optimistic about this roster initially.
Most people did.
Yeah, I think it can all be true at the same time.
Yeah.
In short, I think there is stuff here where you look at Mariners brass and you go, we got to re-examine this. But it's a little more complicated than it is with player execution. Jumping back to the Seahawks with Seattle Times' Bob Condotta next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Inflation's up, insurance rates are up, so here's my question for you. Why are so many people still paying more than they have to?
Exactly. I took the First Mark Challenge, and it saved me thousands. Brock did it too.
Sure did. They compared my insurance with dozens of top-rated companies, found me better coverage, and I saved thousands. And the best part? It didn't cost me a penny.
That's what I love. First Mark works for you, not just one insurance company. They shop the big carriers to see if they can find you a better value.
And if they can, great. If they can't, you're out exactly nothing. No cost, no obligation. So honestly, why wouldn't you find out?
Plus, First Mark has world-class customer service. When you need help, you pick up the phone, you're talking to local, real people who actually know you, know your policy, not an 800 number halfway across the country.
More than 11,000 clients have already taken the First Mark Challenge.
You could be the next.
Before you renew, let First Mark review.
Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Take the First Mark Challenge today. You could be saving money with better coverage starting tomorrow.
Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gage Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede with classic fair fun and food. Delight in the ultimate Pacific Northwest summer tradition. Bring the whole family to enjoy exhilarating carnival rides, midway games, and all your favorite deep-fried, sweet, and savory fair food staples. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss out on all the fun and excitement. Tickets and info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
If it's blocking your view, keeping your yard dark or shaded, or impossible to mow around, get rid of that tree or stump this summer with P&D Tree Service. They'll do it safely and quickly, cleaning up your yard in the process. P&D Tree turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. One tree or land clearing, they have the tools and expertise for the job. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, get early access to our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners look to even their series against the Yankees today with Game 2 at 4:05 p.m. Bryce Miller gets the start for Seattle opposite Yankees righty Will Warren. A shocker in the NBA this morning, the Lakers are being sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record $12.5 billion just 1 year after the Buss family sold the team to Mark Walter for a record then $10 billion. A worthwhile note here, Walter is under federal investigation for alleged tax fraud by his other companies.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Talking Seahawks with Bob Condotta, the Seattle Times right now. Bob, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're good. Hey, as we look ahead to the first preseason game here on Saturday, I'm anticipating we won't see much, if any, of quite a few of the starters. So tell us about some of the guys a little lower on the depth chart that we should be watching closely.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jalen Milroe, from quarterback standpoint, obviously is going to be really intriguing to just. I would imagine he'll get a lot of work. Mike McDonald sort of gave a little bit of an interesting answer the other day, saying they might change up how they did the quarterback stuff a little bit from last year, maybe, and kind of mentioned Sam Darnold. And so who knows if they'd want to stick those guys out there for for at least a series or two, but I still think you'd see a lot of Jalen Milroe, and that's always really interesting when you've got a young quarterback and just kind of seeing how he can do. The young guys in the secondary, I don't think we'll see Julian Neal. He's not really back yet, but Bud Clark, he's not necessarily lower on the depth chart, but as a rookie, I would imagine he's going to get some significant work and seeing what he does. Mike McDonald made an interesting comment about him after the football fest on Saturday about, he had a lot of ball production in college. They haven't really seen that yet. So maybe that's one of those things that when the lights go on and the real games, games get going, if you're playing another team at least, maybe that shows up. I think the kind of the rush ends after the top four guys. It's been kind of hard to read exactly who's kind of ahead, of like Connor O'Toole and Jared Ivey and Jalen Gaines and some of these guys, Aiden Hubbard, some of those guys that they have. And I don't think you're going to see much at all of the veteran defensive linemen for the obvious reason in the preseason. So you see a lot of guys like that. And I think that's another one where, just again, kind of when the lights go on, which of those guys can really produce? I think there's maybe, at least one spot on the roster for some of those guys, and maybe they have a better idea of it. But watching from afar, it's kind of hard to get a sense of who's really ahead in those battles. So I think that'll be really good to watch too.
One room that's pretty deep, Bob, is the wideout room, right? We got JSN, Rashid, Cup, Torrey Horton, Jay Bobo just got healthy. He's back. Cody White's been making plays. Ricky White was a special teams guy in college. But I look at Bobo and I say to myself, man, he's got to do something. I mean, he's a guy who's going to be on the bubble every single year. Is there anybody that you see that can challenge Bobo for a spot?
Well, I'd be surprised though, because of his special teams, the special team stuff he does. He kind of has some specific special teams roles they like that I think I kind of took that as one of the biggest reasons why they gave him the contract they did. I sort of feel like he's on the team, but Cody White has played well. He's a guy who's been on and off the practice squad a lot, and they might gamble that they'd be able to do that with him again. The young guy who's really played well, kind of come really, probably the guy on the roster who's made the biggest move up the depth chart is Montori at any position. Probably is Montori Foster, number 87, and that's in part because he wasn't, he really just wasn't around last year. He was the guy they signed on December 30th and got to go along for the ride for the Super Bowl on the practice squad after really being with the team for only about a week during the regular season. And then they re-signed him right after the year, and he's played really well in camp. He had a couple of really good plays at the football fest on Saturday. Has continued to kind of show up over the last 2 weeks, consistently making some plays. So, he'll be a really interesting one to watch that way. I still think it might be hard for them to want to keep more than 5 receivers because of the roster challenges they'll have elsewhere, and receivers tend to sort of, there's a lot of them that hit waivers all at once. So I think they sometimes gamble a little more with the receivers aren't going to get claimed, but certainly it'll be interesting to see.
I'm a little surprised that there was stuff on Terrion Arnold in the newest episode of Hard Knocks. I assumed that they'd be a couple days delayed and maybe we'd see it next week. But it was nice to see some insight into not just his workout, but to hear John talk to Mike McDonald about it. What do you read on their actual interest in Terrion Arnold?
I think there's definite interest. Yeah, my understanding is the Hard Knocks show kind of goes, Monday to Sunday kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Sunday's sort of their cutoff for stuff. So that happened on Sunday. So I think it just snuck under the wire there. They probably knew it was happening too, though. So that was probably another thing. They probably had a tip off that they were bringing in, and so they knew to make that the end of the show there. Mike McDonald didn't try to, kind of skirt it the other day when it was revealed that Arnold had been in here, and then McDonald talked to us on Monday, and just called it kind of their same quest of always trying to get better and all that. He's going to come. You would imagine it won't take a lot to get him. It'd be probably a 1 year, close to not much contract. Maybe it'll become clearer what his about his legal situation when he has his arraignment on Thursday, and maybe that's when the teams start to really make a move on him. But he visited Seattle, he visited New Orleans, he's supposed to be visiting the Giants today. He visited Houston already. So there are some other teams out there, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But certainly the cornerback spot. Mike McDonald kind of kind of said it just didn't have anything to do with their cornerback room. But it's kind of hard to think it doesn't have at least a tiny bit to say with wanting to add to the depth there, because, you've got in Witherspoon, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and you've got Josh Jobe, who's pretty proven and got a big contract after the season. After that, though, Nehemiah Pritchett's played well, but, whether he can be as consistently good as Reek Woolen was in that role last year is probably still to be determined. And then, Julian Neal just hasn't been out there. Got hurt early in camp, and then after that, it's a little bit more improvement. So I could see them. I think maybe they just kind of looked at it that way, and like, this is such an important position, not in the NFL and in Mike McDonald's defense, that there's a way to make it better. And if everybody in the NFL is comfortable with this situation, otherwise, then it just kind of becomes a player decision.
Who have you seen step up with the absence of Nick Amawari, or have you spoken to coach and he kind of pointed somebody out? This is a guy that we want to feature or use while he's sitting down for a bit.
Well, I mean, the guy we'd seen there consistently was D'Anthony Bell, and he played that role a little bit last year, if you recall. He started the second and third, the win at Pittsburgh, the win over the Saints in weeks 2 and 3 after Evan Warrior got hurt in week 1. And essentially playing the same role. So he's been the obvious guy from the start to point to as who's going to be there. We've seen Noah Igbenogany do that a little bit as well. He's played some of that. And then Bud Clark is the other guy who has played there quite a bit and, done it a lot more over the last week. Obviously Bud Clark's a little bit, well, just about everybody. He's going to be a different bit of a body type than Nick Amon-Worry, but Bud Clark certainly isn't maybe quite the same sort of physical presence in that way that Amon-Worry projects when he's out there. But there's ways you can obviously move those guys around and maybe not have that be quite the same role that Amon-Worry plays. But those are kind of the guys. I think the assumption is because of his experience, he did do it quite a bit last year. It was with the team, most of last year, essentially as Amon-Worry's backup is D'Anthony Bell. But I think they're looking for ways to see what Bud Clark could give him immediately in terms of getting on the field, because right now I don't think he's in the mix for being a starting safety. I think Ty Okada has that pretty well locked up at the moment. So Bud Clark getting on the field right now would likely be more as a third safety, and specifically maybe playing the same role Amon-Worry did, or kind of a different role where you get them both on the field at the same time.
Hey, Bob, I'm not a reporter anymore, but I do kind of the same feeling of reading between the lines with availability with players. Like if a player's kind of banged up and they don't have him at the podium and they maybe like cut back something he'd normally do, you go, oh, I don't think he's playing. This isn't trending towards something. Whereas if a player talks, you normally assume that he's healthier and that's trending towards something. Likewise with contract stuff, if I see Devin Witherspoon at the podium, I go, well, God, there's no deal done yet. But like, you just kind of know as a reporter, like they're not going to make guys available if things aren't at least moving forward or looking promising, or if guys aren't healthy, certainly. What should we read into not just Devin speaking to media, but maybe where those talks are right now?
Well, I would probably differ with you slightly. I'm not sure that Witherspoon speaking yesterday really indicated anything, and maybe we'll be proven wrong on that. But he had been requested pretty consistently over the last couple of weeks, and the word had been that everybody essentially on the roster would be available at some point before the first preseason game, and he just he hadn't talked since the Super Bowl. He hadn't been available during the off season or anything. So I think some of that was just sort of fulfilling an obligation there that everybody is supposed to be available at some point. It's really hard to read where things are in the talks. Obviously, Witherspoon, if you watched it, didn't really offer any substantial insight yesterday, wanting to kind of focus on what's going on the field and all that, and that makes sense. A lot of guys don't want to do that. The Christian guy, everybody has kind of just assumed his situation is really tied to the Christian Gonzalez situation. They have they're essentially in the exact same situation and have the exact same agency anyway, representing them and working for them. And the Gonzalez situation got sort of intriguing yesterday because he did not take part in New England's joint practice, and was unclear if that was due to an injury he might have suffered or if he was kind of making a statement there by sitting it out. And so, I think both these teams want to get this solved sooner rather than later. And I think it is one of those things where once one gets solved, once one signs, the other probably happens really quickly. So you kind of got to keep your eyes on both coasts right now, both the Super Bowl teams right now, to kind of see where that unfolds. But that's kind of my guess, is that these things are kind of tied into each other. The Denzel Ward contract, I think, might have changed the equation just slightly, because that, he became the highest paid corner at $31.1 million. I think both of these guys want to be that. It's not going to be possible for them probably to both be that unless they get the exact same deals, I guess, from each team. But, so I do think there was an assumption going into camp that this was going to get done relatively quickly, and now it hasn't been. But Witherspoon has continued to, do everything. He's out there, every single, taking as many snaps as you would expect anybody to take. So it hasn't impacted him in any way. But it will be interesting as they start doing, maybe getting further into camp, if that continues with both of these guys, and if either of these guys tries to make a statement and wanting to make sure it gets done. I still think something probably gets done before the regular season. I don't think teams want to drag these things into the regular season at all.
Are you surprised that Spoon is out there? Because Bob, if it was me, I'm chilling. I'm making sure I don't get banged up in any way. And what does that say about the relationship between him and the Seahawks?
Yeah, well, it's a weird one that way, because he is under contract for 2 more years. It's kind of a new thing a little bit when a team has exercised the 5th-year option on a player, but then they still want to do this. I think in his specific, immediately signed Jackson Smith and Jigba to a big contract when they each got the 5th year exercised at the same time. So I think that did set the expectation. Yeah, this is going to get done before camp. I think he probably had decided that this is how I want to approach it. I do want to be out there all the time. And I think he trusts the team to protect him just enough there. But that's why I say, once you do get into some other stuff like the joint practice, which can be, while you can control the joint practice to a certain extent, and that's why teams really like them, because you can, sort of tell the referees to have quick whistles and no tackling to the ground and things like that. It's still harder to control everything. And so it will be interesting to see, if that continues through to that next week. But, obviously it says something about him and how he, how he wants to approach things. And for sure, we've seen other guys in the past, Bobby Wagner kind of did his hold in where he showed up but didn't take part on the field. Michael Bennett, I think, did that at one point as well. That's kind of been a thing guys have done more. I think there's 5 or 6 of those, 5 or 6 guys sort of holding in right now throughout the NFL. And I think people wouldn't have been surprised at all if Witherspoon had done that. But so certainly I think it speaks a lot to the relationship he and Mike McDonald have and the mutual respect they have for each other, and Witherspoon wanting to be there for him and his team. And I think him trusting that the organization will, do everything they can and not put him into any situations that might be harmful for him.
I'm sure there's quite a few things going back to Hard Knocks that happen on the show that you're like, yeah, I was there at practice. I remember that. Or like, yeah, I've interviewed that player a million times and I know he's funny or whatever it is. But is there anything, Bob, that as someone who knows this team very well and is around them quite often was new to you? Maybe some insight you didn't have before?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're not in the team meetings or anything. So seeing the team meetings, it's funny because a lot of those things, if you guys, the press room is right next to the auditorium. So we hear cheering and noise in there a lot of times, but you never know what's going on in there. So, just seeing Mike McDonald leading those meetings, hearing what he's actually saying. It was interesting last week when they showed the scene where he talked about the Bulls, because we had heard Julian Love describe that meeting and we all wrote about it. And then seeing the actual meeting, it was interesting seeing that. The assistant coach and player interactions like we saw last night with Frisbee Jackson and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I thought that was really interesting. And then even the stuff that happens on the field, anybody who's been there, the music is really loud. There's a lot of fans there. And even if you're standing on the field, you're still, 30, 40 yards away from stuff. So you never really can hear what's going on in interactions between coaches and players, especially during the team sessions. And, so just seeing the interaction between Mike McDonald and Derek Hall over McDonald's unhappiness over Hall getting too close to Sam Darnold there. We kind of all watched it, a bunch of us in the press room, and we were all like, did any of us notice this at the time? And nobody really had, because it's just kind of hard sometimes. And you guys have been there a lot of times. The players are in a circle as well, so you can't really necessarily see through all that. You see the play, but seeing what's going on behind it could be trickier. And, so none of us had really seen that or noticed that day. I certainly hadn't anyway. So, you're there at practice, you think you're seeing things, but there's so much, still because there's so many players out there and so many guys, you don't see that. So, there's all kind of stuff like that. And then just, the peek into the guys' homes, like Leonard Williams at home last night. I thought that was fascinating.
He is Seattle Times Seahawks reporter Bob Condotta, kind enough to join us. Thanks so much, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, here's all you guys. Yep, bye.
Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, who is your dark horse to be the number 3 receiver in football this year?
He was once considered a top 5 receiver, has one of the greatest catches of all time. Was probably one of the first receivers to go like big on social media, dancing and all that stuff. But he's with the Giants now, and he's 33. And he's probably not going to do it, but I'm sending old man vibes to the older man in the NFL. Odell Beckham Jr. He's listed now as the number 3 receiver for the Giants, so that means he's doing some good things over there. It means Jackson Dart and him are vibing. They moving, grooving, vibing, sliding over there. You got Malik Nabers. We'll see how he comes back healthy. You got Darius Slayton over there as well. You got Darnell Mooney. But Odell Beckham Jr. is the number 3 receiver right now. Love seeing 30-year-olds do their thing.
Second down. What did you think about the conversation between JSN and his wide receiver coach last night on Hard Knocks?
I thought it was healthy. I thought it was constructive. And I thought that it's only a conversation the number 1 receiver has with his coach. Anybody else walking? Man, Cooper Kupp could probably do it because he's been in the game for a while. Rashid Shaheed, probably his personality doesn't even tell me that he would even have that conversation. But he was talking about push cracked in a safety, and Jackson is convinced that he did that. Coach puts a coaching point on the board and says, well, I'm just putting it up there as a reminder. He goes, no, I've been doing it. I don't need this reminder. But it's friendly. It's not like it's confrontational. They're just having regular conversation. But it shows that, one, they have a good relationship. And these are just 2 grown men. Sometimes there's a line in the sand to where coaches don't want you to cross it. They have all the authority, and they just want you to do as you're told. But these are grown men. And Jackson is the richest person on this team right now. All right, he deserves and has earned a different type of respect. So I thought it was a healthy conversation.
Third down. What surprised you last night?
You ever heard of Crime Mob?
Yes.
Nuck if you buck.
Yeah, nuck if you buck. We nuckin' and buckin'.
Sounds just like that.
That's what it sounds like.
And
Matt looks concerned.
Mike McDonald got nuck. He got nuck with D Hall. And I knew he had it in him, but I hadn't seen it. You can kind of feel it. He's intense at times, but I thought that was healthy.
And now what is nuck?
Nuck. Knuckle up.
Oh, nucks.
No, just nuck.
Nuck. And
you never seen the dance? Nuck if you buck.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
No, I have.
No, you haven't.
There was a whole era in my life. It's called 2000s. Early 2000s hip hop and rap. That when it was at its best.
It was at its peak.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got at D Hall the way coaches get at players. D Hall took it on the chin. At first he was, complaining like my kids do when I tell him to do something. But then he calmed down and they patched it up. I think that's healthy. That's going to happen in camp. There's going to be issues. You're going to argue. You're going to get at each other back and forth. End of the day, D Hall needs coach needs D Hall. Mm-hmm. So they made it right. But I thought that was a great way to start the episode. Very first clip. I'm like, oh, we getting into it like that? Ooh, I was fired up. This is the most fired up I've been watching anything in a long time.
It's making me very excited for the start of the NFL season, which is the intention of the NFL working with HBO on this. But it's cool to see a very good team. A lot of fun energy. You know what I mean? You're not watching a team that's like, yeah, we've been awful for several years, so we're hoping that this rookie we drafted can save the team. It's just, we have a good culture, and here's how we keep making it stronger. And every episode has something that you watch and you go, wow, that's really insightful.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to talk in less than 10 minutes about the 3 things we've learned so far in Hard Knocks. 4th down. What did Mike McDonald do that's extremely important?
He let his coaches shine. His D-line coach got in front of the team, made his own Bible verses, said Mob is good all the time Mob is good. But those interactions in those meetings are important because it allows the assistants to show their personality and bring whatever it is to the team. I'm sure that Mike McDonald knew when he hired Coach that was part of who he was, and that's what he wanted his team to be. That's what he wanted on his coaching staff. So it's important that these head coaches let these assistants get in front of the team, tell their story, or just project their message on them, and they buy it. And you can tell by the looks on the guys' faces, they were loving every single moment of that. That's extremely important.
Very excited for the start of the season. Less than a month away now. I mean, we've been less than a month away for 3 days, but we're less than a month away.
Remember when it was 100 days?
Yes.
We're counting 100 days.
Yes. I mean, thank God it's around the corner.
For real.
And you have preseason football for the Seahawks, not only this Saturday, but preseason football during the week as well. Obviously, I mentioned Tua Tagovailoa is going to be starting for the Falcons on Friday night. They're playing the Broncos. By the way, speaking of the Broncos, I saw Denver, Nick Shook of, I believe, NFL.com, had Denver as his number 2 team in power rankings ahead of number 3 Seattle.
Whatever. We know what's up.
Just an interesting choice.
We know what's up. Chris and Edom called. Did you enjoy the 5-minute segment on spin rate last night? Yes! One of my favorites. No wobble in that ball.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought it went on a hair too long.
No, the science behind it, it's beautiful.
Yeah, there are a lot of football people that are like, I loved it.
You're the only person I heard so far say
that you've ever heard.
That I ever heard in my life.
I didn't say I didn't
in
like
my entire
it.
life.
I said it wasn't my single favorite. My favorite interaction.
You said it went on too long. I thought
said
it
it
was
went
perfect.
on a little too long.
I thought it was perfect.
A little too long. Just a little bit.
See, that wasn't for you.
It wasn't, and that's okay. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Jadarian Price here with us. You got your alarm set for Hard Knocks tonight?
I probably won't watch the Hard Knocks until camp is over.
Your phone's going to be blowing up tonight.
I was on the phone with my mom last night, and I did not mention that Hard Knocks is coming out, but it's a big message to everyone out there that we heard early this week in a team meeting. Like, call your parents, don't text. They want to hear your voice and how things are going.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Are you squeezing every last bit out of your summer? Looking for a fun add to your itinerary? I have the perfect trip already planned for you at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a whole weekend out of it. Here's what you need to do. You head up Friday and treat yourself to a delicious dinner at the steakhouse. On your way to dinner, become a free member at Reef Rewards, allowing you discounts on gas, dining, hotel, and spa. Saturday, get yourself a tea time at Loomish Trails. Make sure you get there early and check out the range and walk around the historic clubhouse. It is beautiful. After your round, enjoy Saturday night dinner at Cantina or the Red River Cafe before live entertainment. Sundays for the spa. Relax and recharge with a massage and treatment and just work some kinks out and just unwind a bit. Before you head home, plan your next weekend at Silver Reef, maybe for Crazy Train, Howie Mandel, or Guns for Roses. All you got to do, take the I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, to get 30, to get 20, 20, 20, to get 20, 20, to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month. Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I've trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a very long time, so I know injuries happen. But when Emma tore her ACL on the mat, it was bad.
I typically have a pretty high pain tolerance. I gave birth 6 times with no pain meds at all, but this felt like a 10 or 20, really.
She was evaluated by an orthopedic surgeon.
He also told me that surgery was the only thing that I could do.
Instead, she came to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
I can do everything normally. I train, I spar.
Pain level at a 0?
Yes.
So you recommend it?
Yes, actually, I asked him if it was okay for me to take copies of his pamphlet, so as soon as somebody gets injured, I can just hand them a copy.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15 minutes. Get your questions in. Any questions, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text them now. 866-979-3776. Continuing our conversation about Hard Knocks, I know that we are around this team, that we hear about this team. We've interviewed players and coaches, and you kind of feel like, oh, what am I actually going to learn? But I think there's a lot that we've learned about this team, being able to see these behind-the-scenes conversations. So let's talk about the 3 things we've learned about the Seahawks so far on 2 episodes of Hard Knocks. Bump.
Mike don't play. I mean, he cool. He cool, but he don't play. He had 2 episodes and 2 instances where he had to check somebody, and D Hall was involved in both of them things, low key. But the first one, he's going up to Brady Russell and saying, "Bruh, you're getting personal. You're talking about his money. Like, we can trash talk, but as soon as it becomes personal, you've crossed the line." And I like how he did it. He wasn't like yelling or angry or anything like that. He's just gaming him up. Like, listen, man, this ain't what we do here. Talk your talk. I think it's important that the offense and the defense go at it. Like, even the coordinators, they should go at it sometimes. But within the game, right? You talk about a play that didn't work, or how I ran you over, or I made this catch on you. Once you start talking about family, money, personal stuff, it's all bad. And then obviously the incident with D Hall, how he checked him there too.
Derek, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you bull rushing right now near the quarterback?
I'm not trying to hump. I can't see behind.
You can't be trying to hump right now. This isn't the time for it. The quarterback you almost decleated the guy into the quarterback's knees. Come on, man. You're smarter than that. Damn it, Derek.
That way, good timing. That way, Sam. How when I ran clear the pass?
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
What do you want me to do?
Get him out.
Damn, oh my gosh. What the
Hey, you can complain all you want. You can complain all the you want. You're too close. That's twice. It's not smart. You can all you want. But it turns out I'm running the practice.
That final line, that's something I feel like I
running the
learned.
Freaking practice.
I feel like I learned something about Mike McDonald. Yes, from both of these. Like that conversation with Eamon Wari, you talked about what we saw in episode 1 from Mike, was really insightful. I thought, like, wow, he's more of like a kind of therapist. Like, he has a great relationship with his players and really good advice, and it feels very authentic. That one was kind of like when you and I interviewed him for the very first time, and we kind of were sharing our thoughts immediately after. And I was like, I probably said something like, it's just hard to tell, like, a new guy coming in, and it's like, okay, you're smart, but are you going to be able to command a room that was used to a very different person? This isn't a team starting from scratch. There's a lot of carryover players. I don't know that I saw that. Like, I don't know that I immediately thought, like, he can totally be that guy. It's cool.
I've seen clips from the first meeting of the year Mike has had, from when he was in there with the hoodie and blazer on, the very first one, addressing the team. Still confident, to last year. Imagine it's playoffs and we're at Lumen, ready to go. To, all right, boys, we're here. Football, like, there's been a progression, when they show like the evolution of man, how we start hunched over and we're like standing up. That's what I see in Mike McDonald. It was also cool to see him talk to Mitch, the Spurs head coach, and them kind of, they're not even bouncing ideas off each other. They're just having deep culture conversations. So
the part that ended up being clippable was him saying, when I think of, like, we're implementing our game plan, I'm also implementing our culture. And I was like, that's really great. The part that I, like, quietly really appreciated is when he's firing off questions about Wemby, just very quickly. And you can just tell he's someone that thinks about culture fit and thinks about people and thinks these things all the time. Like, he was genuinely in that conversation. Was he always like that? Well, did you think that? Did you ever have to work on that?
Yeah.
Just someone who's just very sincerely curious. And it doesn't work for, like, a clip for YouTube. It just looks like but, like, when I was watching, I thought, I appreciate that he's rattling off questions, genuinely listening and curious about, well, and how did this work? When did you know?
He wants to understand the person.
Yes.
And I think that's crucial.
Okay, something else we've learned.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, my number one was that just Mike McDonald. I think number 2, I knew this team. Oh, no, I know what I want to say. I'm actually going to switch this. Cooper Kupp has a greater voice as a leader with coaches than I thought. I knew that he was someone that JSN clearly talked about a ton. That was on with us during the huddle. It was also in the mic'd up moments from the Super Bowl. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. But that clip in was it the first episode of him sitting with Mike McDonald? Yeah. And being like, they were just kind of talking ball, and obviously we're limited in kind of what they're really talking about. But that was even more than I thought he had a say and influence with.
Yeah,
when it comes to coaches.
And he's been in the game, 8 years now, I want to say. And offensive player of the year, Super Bowl champion, was flirting with the single season receiving record at one point. I think I saw a stat within the last, since 2020 or something like that, he's like 4th all time when it comes to receptions and all that. Now, that's a resource. And when coaches start looking at you as a resource, you've reached another level. Yeah. He's just on something else. And I think eventually Jason's going to get there because he's learning from Cooper Kupp as well. No, I like that. He's a day near coach out there. When you talk about players being an extension of the coaching staff, that's what they're talking about. Cooper Kupp is one of them for sure.
Yeah.
I think I kind of knew this already, but it was amplified. Leo can hit a switch. I can be a monster and beat you up.
Yeah.
But I'm at home with wifey, with the baby, with the garden. He's a different dude. And I've met a few guys who I think a lot of them do it anyway, but his is so extreme because he plays one of the more violent positions on the field, and he's such a big dude. He turns gentle, and I think that's beautiful. I think when you are in love and you have a good situation and everything's respectful and there's trust, like that's when these big warriors just kind of just, get soft. And I think that's important for people to see because a lot of people just see them as one thing.
That's a really good one. This isn't something I've learned, but we already went over our 3 things. Something I'd like to see more of, though, in 2 episodes, there's been like 30 seconds combined conversation between Ad and Dirty and Mike McDonald. I like that relationship, and I want to see more of it.
Yeah, I like that
because
too.
in both instances, you mentioned the Brady Russell thing earlier in terms of what Mike McDonald did in
and
confronting him about that.
had DL's back.
And I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked it. It felt like AD was direct with Mike McDonald. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to be honest about it, and I'm going to push back. I'm going to say, well, if I actually think this. I think that's fascinating.
I think it's cool that AD feels comfortable doing that, which means, and when we talk about the D-line coach getting in front of the team, I'm sure he won't be the last coach to get in front of the team. I think Mike is aware enough to know that for this team to be functional, everyone has to feel like they're important and they have a role in this whole thing. And he doesn't have the ego just to shut people down. I'm sure there are times where he's like, Coach, all right, just chill. Let's get back to work, or whatever the situation may be. But he's so aware of the importance of everyone feeling involved in this thing.
And I think you kind of need that. It's a difficult line to walk, but I would imagine for any successful head coach, anyone running anything successfully, you need a combination of like confidence in who you are and a willingness to be okay being wrong. Like, I don't have the view of all my players the way AD does.
Yeah.
And beneath him, the way the position coaches do.
Yeah.
I need to know what they see.
Yep.
And I need to know what they think.
They report back. As a head coach, you kind of hover around everything. You get bits and pieces, but when you're in those rooms, I like when they zoom in on the position group on the door, receivers. You know, it's like, all right, this is your little community within the community.
Yeah. So I just want to see more. I haven't learned anything about it. I want to learn something about that relationship, and I want to see more of it. So I hope it's highlighted in episode 3 next week. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text your question right now, 866-979-3776. That's next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game coming up Saturday against the Cowboys at Lumen. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede with heart-pounding PRCA rodeo action. Wednesday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at 5. Watch top-tier cowboys and cowgirls compete under the lights in bareback riding, barrel racing, steer wrestling, bull riding, team roping, saddle bronc, breakaway, and tie down. And on Sunday, August 30th, finish it off with the adrenaline-pumping Extreme Bulls at noon. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Tickets and info at kitsapfair.org.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Doors store in Marysville. We are back and open here Tuesday through Saturdays. If you're looking for doors, you need to come and see us. We have an incredible selection of doors to choose from, and currently you can take advantage of our quick turnaround time for pre-hungs and matchups. Please visit us here in Marysville at 1046 Cedar Avenue or Monday through Friday in Shoreline on 15th Avenue Northeast. And as always, don't forget to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times from our sports teams in town. Talent acquisition, we need it. I'm guessing at IRG, talent acquisition is also key for you?
Absolutely, Brock. Talent acquisition is everything. You know, our strength here at IRG is what I call our human capital. These are the folks that work here at IRG with a passion, with a focus on building great teams, providing great care, and being involved in the community. We want the best and brightest. And if you're looking for an opportunity to be the best and brightest, IRG is the place for you. We will provide mentorship, continuing education, personal and professional growth. We have it all for you. We want the best and brightest.
If you want to be a part of that team, all you got to do is go visit one of their 40 convenient locations. IRG is in your neighborhood. All the details as well, you can find them at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com. Terrion.com.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond, and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
August is always a time of excitement because football is back. But anyone that watches practice or preseason games knows how much work needs to be done before the season starts. If you're feeling the same about your home project, Harley Exteriors wants to help you get a head start on making sure your home is ready for fall football nights. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off your final project. Spend a few minutes with the folks at Harley Exteriors during your free estimate, and you'll realize you have a lot in common. They love our local teams, they're good at what they do, and they'll take care of your home. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home project this month and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires August 31st, 2026.
HarleyExteriors.com.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hit again. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan dropped back to pass in the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in, 866-979-3776. It's what I need to know. First one, what I need to know. Which would be worse? The Mariners lose the next 5 straight, remove all hope. Or the Mariners win the next 10 and give hope until they lose the last 3 of the season and miss the playoffs by 1 game.
The latter.
You think that would be worse?
Yeah.
I think big picture it would.
Yeah.
If you lose the next 5 and all of a sudden you've kind of played your way out of it, it's like, all right, do we need to put a couple guys on IL? You need to start looking ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, though. If they hold it out and make it interesting and I put my heart back into this just to have it broken.
It would hurt more.
It would hurt.
I think
you just got to put yourself out there.
This is like a philosophical conversation about how you want to enjoy sports. Are you someone who's like, rip off the Band-Aid, I just want to know that it's done, flush the season? Or are you someone that like has a really, really hard time giving up hope, even when the answer's staring you in the face? I tend to be the latter, just as a sports fan.
Yeah, I stay in as long as I can.
That's the thing. Like, I can't change who I am and this is the Mariner. This would be anyone, but who I am as a sports fan is, unfortunately for me, someone who will tell myself there's always a chance. And that's not how everyone is. And if you're not like that, then you're definitely hoping for the former.
This is the perfect example of my fandom. Thursday Night Football. I'm thinking it's over, but I'm begging. Dear Lord, please let Rashid take this to the house. If he takes this to the house, we got a chance. Takes it to the house.
Yeah.
And then I start believing again. It's even when they're down. I mean, Sam throwing 4 interceptions. I remember when Sam threw the 4th interception, I yelled to myself, I can't keep defending you if you keep throwing these things. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember when you texted us.
I have to go on the show and try to defend this.
Post-game show.
Like, come on, man. I try to stay in as long as I can.
The only, I'll say 2 things. One, I don't think that makes you, one thing that irks me is when someone thinks that having hope makes you dumb. I think I know a lot about sports. Yeah. I think that people who hope that the Mariners can still make it to the postseason, it doesn't mean they're dumb baseball people. You have to separate like what you know rationally and logically when you look at a team. When I look at a team, I see a horrible offense that has no momentum and is not showing signs of improvement at all. But you know and feel differently as a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how fandom works for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't criticize people by any means that go, I choose 2. I choose rattle off 10 wins, keep hope alive. When you lose, it's so much more heartbreaking. But like, I can't turn that part off.
Also, very few worse experiences than watching a bad baseball team.
Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Watching baseball that matters, even if you're not quite in it at the end, way better than being 15 back on August 12th and you have nothing to play for.
Let me throw a selfish thing. It's our job to watch every game. I'd rather watch a few more games and have things to say. Selfishly, that would be my choice. What I need to know, how much does Quinnen Williams' extension with the Cowboys affect our guys next offseason with contract talks? Guys like Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed, D-Law, etc.
Definitely does. I think this is probably, I don't know if Leo will be up for a big one just because of his age.
Yeah, I think it's a Byron thing.
Murphy thing. Yeah, Byron is looking at that, looking at his chops. Leo's like, I understand, I'm in my 30s. I'm probably not going to get that money.
Yeah, I think quietly one of the bigger contracts you could be looking at, depending on what he does this year, is Byron for sure. So yes, but maybe just one of those guys on that list. What I need to know, we have to spend the night in a triple-decker bunk bed. Who gets which bunk bed?
Stacy, you up top.
Yeah. What if I fall?
It's easier for you to get up there.
Hang on.
Curtis is on the bottom. I'm in the middle. It's easy. There's no conversation about this.
Fair. No,
you are getting up top.
You guys didn't let me have a conversation.
No,
you didn't let me have a conversation
because you're gonna say something ridiculous. You're small. It's easier for you to get up there. You're up top.
I'm not gonna say something ridiculous.
Curtis is the bigger one.
Yeah.
Be out of 3. He's on the bottom.
Yeah.
That
I'm in the middle.
fall for me is like falling out of a plane.
Well, don't fall.
If I fall, everyone's going down. Okay?
You're like a toddler. You're going to fall, you're going to twist your arms, and just hop right back up. Like nothing ever happened.
If I fall, you're going to hear a thud you've never heard before. You're like,
what I need to know.
And I'll be dead.
When the hell are they going to start showing bubble players on Hard Knocks? It's the best part of the...
Watch your profanity.
What? Calm down. Bro. Whoa. It's a family show.
I think they'll get to it.
That's the best part of the entire series all these years.
They'll get to it.
Yeah, I hope they do. That Montori Foster keeps coming
You got to play a preseason game first, and then you start separating yourself.
Very good point. We are absolutely going to see that.
Yeah.
It's going to... Because we're going to see those tough conversations. It's like Hard Knocks bread and butter.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks follows you around for a day. What plot line did they focus on? Me making the team. What are you talking about? Me trying to make the team.
They're going to focus on Stacy being jealous that I was the first one on Hard Knocks.
It's going to focus on me trying to get on Hard Knocks cameras.
Well, me is going to be like, why do you go to the same 2 restaurants all the time and do the same things every day? That won't be very interesting.
Mine would be, she just went home again.
Curtis might be the most interesting one because he got kids.
I got kids.
Like small kids.
And then you're going to hear Leo Schreiber say something like, on the 5th attempt to get so-and-so on the show, Curtis Rogers finally gives up.
Or the guest finally gives in.
Yeah. He wears him down through hard work and determination.
What I need to know. Do you believe at the end of the season, you personally will be disappointed by the 2026 Mariners? Yes.
Yeah.
And what major change would you need to see happen?
I'm not saying nothing like that right now.
I mean, I think change.
Not doing it. Change.
I think change. You need change.
Change is good.
Yeah.
Change is good.
I think I just
realize that you do have to go on the top bunk.
That's right.
I will go on the top bunk, but it's because I'm a team player.
No, because that's the right thing to do.
There's no right thing.
That is the perfect order. Stacy on top, Bump in the middle, me on the bottom.
The top bunk, it's a long way up. Although if the bunk beds collapse, I don't die.
There you go.
See, there you go.
Think about it that way.
You found your angle.
Yeah. Let's see. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Nick Manwari was injured during Super Bowl week in February. Why is he just recovering from surgery? Why wasn't this taken care of at season's end so he wouldn't miss training?
Because they always try to do without surgery, and you work on it, you work out and all that stuff, and then there comes a point where you just do it. If they can avoid surgery, you try to avoid surgery.
Yeah, I think that's just the answer. Yeah. I'm not going to add anything, but I think Bump's right on that one. Let's see. What I need to know. Someone said, how long can you watch? What I need to know is how long you can watch a football spiral for. Nah, but that clip was great videography.
It's beautiful. Okay. No wobble on that thing.
None at all. None at all. Someone said, this isn't a what I need to know, but I'd like to give a shout out to Bump and Lofa. I had the privilege of meeting them last Friday at a golf tournament. I just want to say how awesome it was meeting you and Lofa. You two are the most humbled and, okay, this is getting excessive. You two are the most humble and respectful dudes. Just want to say thank you for letting me shake your hand. Enjoy the camaraderie. Till next time, go Hawks.
Appreciate you. And thanks for buying those drinks for us, too. I don't know if it was you, but I'm pretty sure because me and Lofa, someone drove us home.
Who's getting the top bunk between you and Lofa?
I gotta go top.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lofa middle.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Very understandable. Thank you again to our guest Bob Condotta of the Seattle Times and Yahoo Sports Jordan Shusterman for joining us. You can go back and listen to them on the Bump and Stacy podcast. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
I'm like a bird, only fly away like. I don't know what my home is. Exactly. And baby, all I need for you to know is
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
Darian Price here with us. You got your alarm set for Hard Knocks tonight?
I probably won't watch the Hard Knocks until camp is over.
Your phone's going to be blowing up tonight.
I was on the phone with my mom last night, and I did not mention that Hard Knocks is coming out, but it's a big message to everyone out there that we heard earlier this week in a team meeting. Like, call your parents, don't text. They want to hear your voice and how things are going.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Progressive knows you've never met Channel 6 meteorologist Daniel Hughes, but when he says it'll be sunny, you trust him. After all, he is a weather professional who knows how to use a green screen and probably went to weather school. You never went to weather school, so you hit the farmer's market in your convertible. Turns out Daniel Hughes is not dependable, but Progressive is. So bundle your home and auto insurance and get 24/7 protection and reliable coverage. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pests and poor installation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both.
For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ugh. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Right now is a good time to try to save money, and one of the easiest ways to save, taking the First Mark Challenge. Mike and I took the First Mark Challenge a couple years ago, and we have saved thousands of dollars since then on our insurance. Here's how First Mark Insurance works for you. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for you and your family. And when you need them and pick up the phone, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark Insurance year after year. So take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation. And you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them, and I'm one of them. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? No cost, no obligation. They simply show you whether they can find you lower premiums, better coverage, or both. Your savings start tomorrow. firstmarkinsurance.com.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ Way.
Packed team buses, light rail and ferries. There are different routes to game day, but the destination is always the same. This city lives for Sunday.